another beautiful morning as we welcome you to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, July the 4th. To all our American friends, happy Independence Day, and to everyone else out there, happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. My name is Katlego Maboe, and ready with the team to bring you all that is inspirational, motivational, and all that feels so good as we start a brand new day. We've got lots of great content. In fact, the content that you signed up for is coming your way this morning. We've got some parenting advice talking about what young boys should know about girls. Very, very interesting stuff. And we'll also be live crossing to the Belito Pro, which is coming up very, very soon, catching up with some of the contenders there to find out exactly what it is that they are expecting from this year's competition. Of course, much loved competition throughout the world of surfing. And then on social media, we're connecting with you this morning, asking you about some of the best advice that you have received. Take a look at this beautiful, adorable picture of Uncle Tabsy along with beautiful Claire Bear. She's the daughter of one of our cameramen, Mr. Peter. He's actually rocking the camera that you're looking at me right now. Wiggle the camera for me, Peter. No, don't. That's going to make people sick at home. Okay, and we're saying, what life lessons would you like to pass on to your children? A very, very important question. Let's see what you had to say about that this morning. Sarika says, always appreciate what you have and work hard for what you want and stay humble. No truer words have been spoken. Then Teresa says, morning Expresso fam, love the Lord and have respect for others. That is the advice that she'd like to pass on to her children. Some Care says, teach them discipline. Pooty says, to always work hard for what you want. Very similar to what Sarika said earlier on. Kotlin says, you can do your best if you put your mind to it. Yeah, the mind is the internal core of everything that dictates our actions, our decisions, and if you can grab a hold of that and control that, well, you've already won half of the battle. But do keep sharing with us on our social media pages, this particular one, this post on Facebook, where we are asking, what is the life lessons that you would like to pass on to your children? And of course, when you are connecting with us on social media, please feel free to use our hashtag Expresso Show. But right now, let's say good morning to the rest of the team.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, it's good to be back. I am so excited to be in our WBD room because this is where all the panel beating and the preparation for the show takes place.
Some of us need a little more panel beating than others, let's be honest. So good to connect with you. Great post this morning. Absolutely loving that question about what you want to pass on. I think a lot of us, obviously Kat and I, with being new parents, especially dads to boys, you want to it's all about the legacy and what are you going to teach them. And I think for me, it's got to be love and compassion. If I think what my mother has been able to instill in me, but it's not the lessons you want to teach them or tell them, it's the lessons you show them that they learn by your example. So hopefully we're going to adjust all of our behavior today to be a bit more conscious of that. But before I decide what I need to wear today, we need to know what the weather is going to be across the land.
Look, we're going to find out just how many layers you need to wear. Let's kick off with your temperatures today. Starting off in Johannesburg, there's plenty of sunshine with little to no wind expected. Now there's clear skies for the entire day. Humidity rapidly decreasing throughout the day and remains low in the evening. So enjoy a cool sunset. Moving over to sunny Durban, there will be sunny conditions with nice warm temperatures today. Little to no wind expected. The sky remains clear for the duration of the day and temperatures will fluctuate throughout the day and humidity remains steady. So that's very, very nice. Also, Port Elizabeth, partly sunny. There's plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a southwesterly wind as the evening approaches. Cloud cover increases as well as the wind. There'll be occasional rain expected late in the evening. And then finally, ending off in Cape Town, mainly cloudy conditions with a shower in the area towards the afternoon. Light northwesterly breeze. Towards the evening, cloud cover decreases, but a couple of showers can be expected. So there you go. Your weather conditions will basically let you know how many layers are required. It seems like the rest of the country is sunny, except for cloudy and maybe rainy Cape Town.
I love that when you say partly sunny. It's a glass half full way of saying partly cloudy, really. We love it. So in case you didn't notice, it's all about the denim today. So I've got a very important question, and maybe you can weigh in, but ultimately you guys are going to make the decision. We've got two different shades of denim here. I'm obviously rocking some denim jeans.
Yes.
Do you go denim on denim with a blue kind of motif? Then can you kind of have a different shade of blue in that denim?
Yeah.
Or do you kind of really mix it up, go with a black denim jacket? And I think that might complement the green of the jersey. I quite like the jersey, so I'm going to be on and off, I think, the whole day. But I don't know, man.
Here's the thing with denims, there are really no rules. Back in the day, it's got to be the same shade, it's got to be the same style. Now you can basically do anything with it. It just depends on what our Expresso family wants you to look like at the end of the day.
I have to say, like 4th of July, may the 4th be with you, all of our American viewers. This has kind of a Bruce Springsteen, kind of a denim on Devon, old school American feel to it, which I dig. But the black kind of breaks up the color quite nicely as well. Both nice, heavy, good quality jackets. I don't know. I just don't know. You're going to have to decide for me. You can let us know on all of our social media platforms. You'll find the post on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. Have a look and help me decide. Help us decide.
We need you. Let's go and
man.
find out what's happening in the world of entertainment.
Well, not quite. In fact, Graham, I've got to call you out on that, man. I can't let it slide. You can't say, may the 4th be with you on the 4th of July, because that's Star Wars Day, you know what I mean? It's like Peter was saying now, it's like wishing somebody Merry Christmas on the 25th of August. It just doesn't work, okay? Anyway, what we are doing right now is talking about our quote of the day, and it comes from one of the most inspirational individuals, I think, of any time. She, of course, was responsible for taking care of the poorest of the poor in the community, taking care of people who were sick and in need, people who society would otherwise shun to the side, not look at and not care about. And I'm talking about none other than Mother Teresa, who in her lifelong service of humanity did really help thousands and thousands of people out there. And her words were very, very simple. And she said this, that if you judge people, you have no time to love them. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. So think a little bit on that as you go throughout the day, about how often you actually go about judging people before actually thinking about what it is that they need in order to make their lives better, what it is that they might need in their situation. Love them before you judge them. Thank you very much to Mother Teresa for those words to inspire you to start a brand new day.
Well, it's time for us to take a look at what's happening in your national news as we go 7 minutes after 6. Johannesburg Metro Police Department officers will now escort every emergency vehicle and fire engine which are under threat of being attacked in the city of Johannesburg. Problem areas where emergency staff were attacked or robbed have been identified. Mkoleko Hlengwa, the new chairperson of Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts, better known as SCOPA, says that he wants the body to have more power to bring wayward government entities and officials into line. On the international front, an attack which killed more than 44 migrants at a detention center outside the Libyan capital could constitute a war crime, a UN official has said. China has warned the UK not to interfere in its domestic affairs amid a growing diplomatic row over the recent protests in Hong Kong. China's UK ambassador said relations had been damaged by comments by UK Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt. And then finally, a Bloemfontein doctor who recently opened his practice is hoping to change people's lives. Nicknamed the walk-in doctor, 56-year-old Paulo de Valdeleiros has created a social frenzy in the city since opening his doors because patients just walk in, are examined and then asked to pay what they can afford, whether it be 10 Rand or 500 Rand. Valdeleiros, who enrolled to study medicine at the University of the Free State at the age of 45, said that it had been his lifelong dream to study for a degree in medicine. But because his family came from Mozambique in 1974 after losing everything, this had not been possible. It took him until his 40s to achieve this. And now he's giving back. What an incredible story indeed. Well, let's take a look at our very first sporting update. And Graham Richards has all of those details.
Getting into that update, plenty of positive news to report on. South Africa has progressed to the last 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations following their results in other groups that went their way. And they have now set up a clash with, of course, it had to be Egypt, the hosts, on Saturday. Then another South African connection. Our South African tennis star Kevin Anderson has now advanced to the Wimbledon third round. That was after beating Serbia's Janko Tipsarevic 6-4, 6-7, 6-1, 6-4 last night. And in the Cricket World Cup, the 2019 ICC Cricket World Cup action continued with the hosts, England confirming their spot in the tournament semi-finals after what ultimately became quite an easy 119-run win over New Zealand at the Riverside Ground last night. So New Zealand have to hope that Bangladesh can beat Pakistan if they want to have any hope of progressing. And in our World Cup action today, it's a bottom-of-the-table clash with Afghanistan taking on the West Indies. That's in Leeds, kicking off 11:30 SA time.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Well, it's time for your first Thursday Weather Watch, and we begin by saying a big thank you to Sam Cross, who sent us a beautiful orange skyline from Durban. We really appreciate that, Sam, and you can expect sunny conditions with warm temperatures and clear skies, those temperatures reaching a maximum of 22 degrees. Look at that stunning sunrise. Wow. Do keep them coming. We love sharing them with the nation at the start of a brand new day. Now let's take a look at those temperatures more specifically, starting off in Polokwane, your low of 4 and a high of 23. Sunny conditions over there. The highest temperatures in the country in Mbombela, a low of 7 and a high of 27 degrees. Pretoria between 5 and 21, while clear skies are the order of the day for Johannesburg, a low of 3 and a high of 19. In the Northwest Province, in Mahikeng, temperatures range between 2 and 23. In Klerksdorp, a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 22. A cold start in the morning for Kimberley, a low of 1 and a high of 21, while the lowest temperatures in the country once again in the Free State in Bloemfontein, -4, reaching a maximum of 19. Now, Richards Bay, you can expect your temperatures to range between 10 and 27, while Pietermaritzburg's sunny condition throughout the day will see a low of 7 and a high of 24. Plenty of sunshine for Durban this morning, a low of 15 and a high of 22. Mthatha between 4 and 25. In East London, a low of 11 and a high of 23, while Cradock will see a low of 2 and a high of 22. High humidity for Port Elizabeth today, and temperatures ranging between 11 and 20 degrees Celsius, while George will see sunny conditions throughout the day, a low of 10 and a high of 19. A light northwesterly wind of 15 kilometers per hour can be expected in Sutherland, a low of 2 and a high of 15, while light showers will be prevalent throughout the day in Cape Town, a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 17. Worcester, partly cloudy conditions and a low of 9 and a high of 19, while Springbok will see completely sunny conditions throughout the day and temperatures ranging between 4 and 19. And rounding things off, a beautiful sunny day for Uppington today, a low of 3 and a high of 24. Well, no matter what the weather in your part of the country, here's to hoping you have a thunderous Thursday.
Okay,
right.
well,
I like that when you step in and go,
options over here.
Yeah, man. So it's all about the denim today, and I was asking quite a pertinent question. I thought, like, do you go denim on denim, like blue on blue? Can you mix it up with a bit of black? And the people have spoken. A resounding trend is emerging here. Maybe it's because we, 4th of July, American Independence Day. We're feeling those American old denim vibes. And I love the thickness and the quality of the denim here as well. Really, really cool.
What are people saying?
But let's find out, man. Teresa Spina saying hi, blue. Farazian Khan saying blue. Why are you even bothering asking? Ronnie Moodley saying denim blue, love, 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 heart face, love, love, love. Talwando saying denim blue. We've got Maria Batista saying blue, the blue one, blue, 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 blue. I think go for black. Marty Skuman, I think you are wrong. Sorry, man. Jared Kaplinski, denim blue, blue looks cool. Rika, thank you so much. Blue, denim, black. So
it seems
that's the
everyone's
vibe.
going.
I don't know if I kind of bent people to my will because I was kind of tending towards the blue. I dig a blue on blue look. But I think that'll be pretty funky. But the black could have been just as cool. So you can go with the black. I can go with the blue if you want.
You wear the blue and I'll wear the black.
I like that, man.
Thank you so much, family. Thanks for voting for us. I'm going to put on my black jacket now. I actually think it works. I think that this jacket was definitely made for this pair of jeans. So thank you so much, guys. Let's check out what's happening in the world of entertainment.
Nice.
The boys are looking good and we're available for it. Thank you so much, fam, for making sure that they look absolutely stunning. Time for some entertainment news. Now, one of Hollywood's most adored families, which comprises of singer John Legend, model and TV personality Chrissy Teigen, their 3-year-old daughter Luna, and the very cute and adorable 1-year-old Miles, they're making social media just go collectively Aww. With adorable snaps from their summer vacation in Italy.
Absolutely. I mean, we may be feeling the chill down here in the southern hemisphere, but it's hotting up in the north, especially with all our favorite celebs taking the weekend off to celebrate the 4th of July, of course, America's Independence Day.
Yeah, that's right. Now, a legend, Tegan, I'm just going to call them the legends, they decided to start their holiday early, and the proud mama and papa have been sharing such beautiful snaps of their adorable tots on Instagram all week. Now, little Luna displays that she is the spitting image of her mom, Chrissy, and that she may too one day also go into modeling as she wears oversized pairs of aviator sunglasses on her little face. And she is just, the noonies coming off of there, hey?
Very, very cute
I can't
stuff.
for these kids.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Now, you can tell that there's a little bit of competition going on between John and Chrissy. Friendly competition, if I may say so. Each vying for more attention than the other, or more likes for their snaps, if you will. Because John posted a picture of Miles throwing his hands in the air like he just don't care. There's that picture over there, right? And he captioned it, "My happy boy in Portofino." But then, so that got what, 390,000 likes. Then Chrissy posted the exact same picture a few hours later with the caption, "John posted this, but I have more followers." Shots fired! And look at those shots. 1.4 million. But she did, okay, to be honest, if we could go back and forth, she did add a filter, okay? Because this is John's picture.
Okay.
This is Chrissy's picture.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, John clearly knows nothing about the gram.
It's
He knows
the filter.
nothing.
It's the filter.
Well, Chrissy posted another picture of the carefree Miles all over her laptop, also captioning it as, "If you email me anytime in the next 7 days, this is who is replying." And it seems like she is just starting them off young on that admin, huh?
John should have posted that picture and said, "This is how all of me was written."
Whoa! Listen,
1.4 million on the other side.
I am loving it.
Now, of course, Luna also got into the spotlight, or should we say into the sunlight, as Tegan posted a picture of the little one in a bathing suit. And she was cooling off in a paddling pool aboard the yacht that they were celebrating their holiday.
Doesn't it just give you the
nice.
travel feels,
Yeah,
though? It really does. And we want to know from you, if you could jet off to the sun, sand, and sea right now, where would you choose to go? You can let us know by commenting on our social media pages with the handle Expresso Show using that official hashtag Expresso Show.
Oh, but I will be jetting off to the sun, sand, and sea soon.
Oh, must be nice.
It is very nice.
fortune.
Oh, God, no.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to talk about our young ones. Now, friendships are the spice of life. Every friendship has its own dynamic. Through them, we have the opportunity to learn more about the world, learn more about people, and learn more about ourselves. And as we've spoken about it on the show before, it is important to nurture positive friendships in our children's lives from a very early age.
Absolutely. So this morning, we're joined by Kona Brown, who is a blogger and author of The Mommy Diaries and mother to 2 young boys. And she joins us to talk about a blog that she wrote titled What I Told My Boys About Girls.
Wow.
Very, very interesting stuff. Great to have you with us, Kona.
Good to have you on the show this morning. Such a very, very important topic, and I'm so glad that you opened up the conversation around that. Why is it so important to start that conversation and speak to our boys about how they interact with girls and how and what is appropriate and what is not?
Yeah, I think the important thing, especially nowadays in our society, is to start having the conversation earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
Because with all of the issues around gender-based violence, especially in our society, we need to start chatting with our kids about how we value one another. And I always say to parents, any conversation you have with your kid is like a file that you open in their brain. And you must open that file first, because otherwise MTV is going to open the file. And so if they go out into the world, they measure everything against what you told them. So the conversation about girls, I say the earlier the better.
Yeah, and the conversation is part of your writings in Mommy Diaries.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. What should we be telling our little boys about girls as you open up that file fresh and you can insert whatever memories are going to be used to judge and reflect on the world? What should we tell them?
Yeah, so I think parents often say, well, what is the information? What do my boys need to know? I think that we need to have open discussions with our kids about our attitudes towards one another, because our actions come from our attitudes. So if we can start talking to our boys about their friendships and their relationships, how to be good friends, how to be people who are kind and nurturing to one another, how to notice the differences in people and value those, that is much more important than saying to them, oh, you know, you need to treat such and such in this way and you need to behave in this way. If they can start forming those correct attitudes, then their behavior will come from that.
Maybe if I could maybe just press on a little bit on this, because I'm now a father to a little boy, and this is a very important conversation that I do want to have with him one day, and I want to know what it is that I need to say. I know it sounds like a very silly question, but sitting him down and saying to him, Phoenix, we're going to have a conversation today. What's the first thing that I say?
So when I put my boys to bed at night, I tell them, you are my treasure. And when I talk to them about girls, I say, just like you're my treasure, every person you meet and every little girl is somebody's treasure. And how do we treat a treasure? We treat it with care. We treat it with gentleness. So to help them form that picture that says, we are all, this is our shared humanity. We all have dignity. We must respect one another. We must be kind to one another. So that they can actually, because remember, kids think everything is about them. So they can actually relate that thing to themselves and say, I'm my mom's treasure, and Abigail that I pray with at school, she's her mom's treasure. She's somebody's treasure. So I should treat her with kindness and I should treat her with respect.
I think that's such a powerful thing, and as much as it's really beautiful and powerful for a mother to say that to her son, how much more powerful for a father to say that to his son, and to not only say it, but to mirror that and to show him this is how a man needs to treat a woman, this is how a boy needs to treat a girl. I think that's even more powerful. And in a country like South Africa, where we have such a high rate of fatherless homes, I think it puts even more emphasis on how important the dads are in their homes.
Yes, and any father figure in your child's life, because ultimately kids are taking all of their cues from what they see first. So any male in their life has an opportunity to show them this is how we treat women, this is how we value women, this is how we speak about them and to them. So actually, even our male teachers, even our coaches, they all have to take so seriously how they, you know, sexist jokes and patriarchal attitudes are precursors to gender-based violence. So actually the men in our society should ask themselves, is how my attitude towards women, does it line up with what I say I believe about our shared humanity, about our shared dignity, the fact that we are actually all equal.
Yeah. Wow. Great to have you here with us, Kona, and we look forward to continuing this conversation very shortly. The book is called The Mommy Diaries, and it is available, Kona, yes?
Yes, it's at all good bookstores and on Kindle.
Fantastic.
Oh, well, that's a very interesting conversation that must definitely continue going on.
Completely, man. As a guy who grew up in an all-female family and now having another young man, I'm like, I get a chance to reset. Yeah. Be able to provide that kind of groundwork for him. So something I really, really do think about, man.
Well, we are in the halfway mark officially of the year, and high school learners and university students, they really are all really buckling down to make some big decisions and big changes, as well as moves for the future.
Yeah, and it is, we know, a pretty critical time. And now Pride Factor, who we know well on the show, a life skills academy dedicated to improving the quality of young people's lives by inspiring, by guiding, by mentoring, which is vital, to also challenge their assumptions, broaden their aspirations, and develop entrepreneurial thinking, which might be the most important thing for this country at the moment, certainly our economy. They are giving university students a unique chance to gain all those life skills without even having to leave the campus. I love that.
It is such a fantastic idea. Now, Pride Factor is presenting the Vodacom Connected Youth University Roadshow. It's driven by Renault. It's going to be traveling around the country to nearly all universities to bring real-life skills and new age edutainment to under 25s in a really cool and interactive and fun and connected manner.
I feel discriminated against. I feel it because it is such a cool thing to be a part of. But the exciting roadshow is actually just about to launch. So it's Monday the 8th of July is where it kicks off at Voda World with a feature of this unbelievable panel of speakers, a myriad of expert speakers and entertainers and mentors all at your disposal. They're here to give you a snippet of what to expect on the road, and it includes radio personality DJ Miss Cosmo, who we love on the show, international singing sensation and old mate Danny Kaye, who has become a very successful businessman as well. Perfect balance there, as well as the doyen of PR in Mzansi, Farrah Fortune. So that's quite a lineup.
Yeah, no, it's strong, it's solid. Well, if you are of that age, if you are an under 25, you're a high school learner or university student, you don't want to miss this
discrimination.
The event runs from 10 o'clock in the morning till 3 p.m. and it's open to the public, and you need to make sure that you get there as early as possible because spaces are limited. So you can also follow all the news about the roadshow on all social media platforms by Vodacom using that hashtag #ConnectedYouth. Now, if you'd like to get more information on the important work that they are doing, these guys at Pride Factor, go log on to pridefactor.co.za.
Yeah, and we got to tip our hats to Dean Boerter, who created or kickstarted that journey as well. Brilliant initiative. Get on board. Might change your life.
All right, well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we continue our conversation with Kona Brown, and she's the author of this wonderful book called The Mommy Diaries, in which she discusses the many lessons that she's shared with her children throughout their upbringing, and some very, very important ones. One that we're focusing on particularly today is what she told her young boys about their relationship with the opposite sex and how that would affect them going forward. So we do appreciate still having you here, Kona. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
Cadbury Dairy Milk shines a light on the generosity alive in each of us. Bring your old toys to any of the Cadbury Dairy Milk's pop-up Little Generosity shops in major centres this winter and receive a slab of Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate. Get to Durban's Gateway Mall Little Generosity shop from the 25th of June until the 8th of July with your toys, and let's inspire a little more Cadbury Dairy Milk goodness in the world.
very good morning to you. Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, live right here on SABC3. Now, our conversation continues around lessons that we'd like to pass on to our children. We've asked you on social media if there are any specific ones that you really would like to pass on to your children, and your comments have been coming through fast and furiously. Kangelo Monate says, good morning. Be brave and willing to take what life throws at you. Isabel Ellis says, morning. Good manners. Be grateful always for everything you've got. Shireen Abrams says, good morning, my Expresso family. I always tell my daughter to respect your elders and appreciate what you have. Happy Thursday. Love you, team. Why don't you let us know? Join in on the conversation. Use that hashtag Expresso Show if you have any very specific lessons that you teach your children.
Well, thank you so much, Tabisa. Time for us to continue our parenting talk. Now, earlier in the show, we spoke to blogger and author Kona Brown about important things to tell young boys about girls in order to foster healthy friendships between them. We are continuing the conversation with her as Kat continues to delve into her book called The Mummy Diaries.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying it. I wanted to read this to people because it is a serious topic that we're taking on, but the book is fun to read as well, because in this chapter where you say, well, what I told my kids about the relationship with the opposite sex, you say, you're too young to have a girlfriend, that's it. No. And then you go on to say, okay, just kidding. Of course, I had way more to say about that. But when my eldest son returned from our church's holiday club in his 11th year with a handful of notes with little flowers and hearts on them, I realized I would need to delve deeper, not into the concept of dating per se, because yes, he's too young to have a girlfriend, but certainly into relationships with the opposite sex as they develop on the other side of the 10-year-old mark. I found that quite nice to kind of kickstart that chapter with. But and then the question came up to me: is it a timing thing, or is it an age-appropriate thing? Do you wait until your son is 10 years old and then you have the conversation, or is it when you realize that you're starting to see changes in your child or your son more specifically?
I always say to parents, address your child in their season.
Yeah.
So if you have a 7-year-old who has, my son, when he was 7, his best friend Abigail was a girl, and he didn't think anything of that. And it was so great because it's a wonderful opportunity to have a conversation about how do we value the differences in people. But then, post 10, you definitely see that things are starting to change, and suddenly they don't even want to talk about it. They feel all weird about it. That is when you need to press in and talk about it, because even though it seems like they're not listening, because they're like, oh, Mom, you're being so gross, I don't want to talk about this. They are deeply interested in girls, and they are listening to everything that you're saying. So address your child in their season, and you are going to know, a kid that's 10 who has older friends, he might be more interested than another kid who's 10 who has younger friends. So address them in their season, and I don't think it's an age thing. I think you're going to know the rhythms of your child's life and where they're heading in school and that's going to indicate to you.
Let's talk about the long run. How can positive relationships with girls, how can it benefit boys in the long run?
Yeah, like I said, when Riley and Abigail were friends, one of the opportunities I took was to have the conversation about why we're different. Because one of the things, like, he asked me was, why can Abby hit me but I can't hit her?
Wow.
And it's a great conversation.
It's a good question,
because, like, both of my boys are swimmers, and we measure that. Let's say we look at Chad Leclerc's time, and then we look at a female swimmer's time is also in the Olympics. And I say to them all, well, did she come first? Yes. Did he come first? Yes. Is the time the same? No. Why? Well, because she wasn't built the same way he was built. Because if we don't talk to them, how are they going to know to look for those differences and say, you know what, we all make a different contribution? I think that's so important to open that conversation up.
Is that how you address that particular question?
That is how. Maybe if I had Googled it, I would have gotten a better way to address it.
Because I'm thinking, at the end of the day, you maybe want to bring across that it's not right for anyone to hit anyone.
Yes.
No, of course.
For girls included.
Yes, but I don't have any girls, and I'm not going to go and call Abigail's mum and say Abigail shouldn't hit Riley, which she didn't do. It was just a thing that he asked me. Yes. What I often say to them is that we are equal but unique.
Yes.
Uniquequal. We are uniquequal.
Uniquequal.
Yes, I wish there was such
Coin
a word.
that phrase. Absolutely.
So that they can see themselves as equal but not the same.
What about parents that might be watching this right now and talking or thinking that in talking to your young boys about their relationships with girls, one might be starting to either ignite or encourage what is already existing in terms of their thoughts of romantic relationships or dating per se?
I always say to parents, if you think that's true, then surely talking to our kids about broccoli will make them want to eat more broccoli, and talking to them about homework would make me want to do more homework. It's simply not true. Your kids need to hear even the hard facts about the physical side of that. They need to hear it from you. They need to hear it early before MTV tells them what they need to know about all of those things.
Yeah.
And they're interested already.
Yeah.
They are having those thoughts already.
Yeah.
If you're ignoring them, that's on you.
Sure.
Wow.
Oh, parents, we've got
Great
such
content,
an
eh?
important job. We really
Get
do.
the
Well,
book.
not
There
really.
it is.
One day I will.
There it is.
But the Mommy Diaries, what to tell your boys about their interactions and relationships with girls, really very important.
How to tackle the tough topics to raise kids with courage and character. I love that so much. Kona Brown, thank you very much for joining us. But right now we're going to be crossing over to the Belito Pro that's been going on since the 27th of June. It's on until the 7th of July. Surf's up.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going in? Okay, come on.
Yeah. Strike that light for me, please. Strike that light.
In the mix, and yeah, there's just tons of new guys coming in that sort of want your position.
So these are scenes from the Belito Pro that's been going on since the 27th of July, one of the world's most loved competitions, World Surf League competition, and it is carrying on until the 7th of July, and we're going to be catching up on all the action there.
It is, of course, the Belito Pro 2019 taking place this entire week. It's been running from Monday, and it will be going through right through to Sunday. It is, of course, one of the most prestigious surfing events in the world, showcasing only the best women, men, and juniors in the sport. And talking about surfers, I'm joined by two of them. One on my left-hand side, Beric de Vries from South Africa, as well as Maud Lecar, all the way from France. And I'm going to start with you, Maud. I mean, you've already taken part in your event. How did that go?
Yeah, I surfed on Monday. It was really fun. Not really the result I was expecting, but I had so much fun.
And tell us, how did you get into surfing?
I started surfing at the age of 12 in where I come from in St. Martin Island in the French Caribbean.
And tell us, what are you looking most forward to here at the Belito Pro, besides your event, of course, which has already taken place?
Yeah, I love this place. I love South Africa for the culture and just the fun waves and the vibes. So yeah, really looking forward to have fun and enjoy the country.
All right, let's move over to our local boy, Beric de Vries, who is from South Africa, like I said. And how are you finding the Belito Pro, Beric?
Hey, I love the Belito Pro. Every time of year, it's winter. It's only until 8 a.m. in KZN though. It's not really winter, but then summer starts. But yeah, I love the Belito Pro. It's always a good time of year for waves, school holidays, so the vibes are always nice. And 2019 looks to be a good one.
Talking about 2019 looking to be a good one, what are you looking most forward to at this year's event?
I really want to win the contest. $40,000 and 10,000 points would really change my life financially and in my career. So I really want to win the contest, but I mean, every day is just a blessing anyway.
And talk to us about how you got into surfing, Beric. What inspired you to become a surfer, and what do you enjoy most about what you do?
Well, when I started, I moved down from Hillcrest to the coast, and my friend, all the cool kids in the schools surfed when I was 10 years old, so I started surfing. But now it's really, it is my job, but it's more my hobby, and it keeps me sane, keeps me normal, but it's also my job, so that's why I love it.
Talking about that, what are some of the hottest surfing spots in South Africa? What are some of your favorite?
Oh, the KZN South Coast is definitely my favorite stretch in South Africa. It's very rich in waves and also not too many people. But yeah, Jeffreys Bay is obviously the iconic surfing spot in South Africa, so I really love it there too.
I'm going to move over to Maud again and ask you, Maud, do you have any favorite surfing spots in South Africa since you've been here for a while? Have you discovered any?
Yeah, I went to Jeffreys Bay and I really love this wave, and yeah, this is one of my favorite waves in the world.
All right, we are going to be bringing you more action from the Belito Pro a little bit later on. Rather, our business here is not done. We're still going to be talking to professional MCs, sports commentators. We're also going to be engaging in a Pilates class, which I'm rather excited for. But for now, it's back to you guys in Cape Town after the ad break.
Big or small, we've got it all. Everyone will find something at the Crazy Store. It's no wonder South Africa considers the Crazy Store the crazy fun place to shop.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso live right here on SABC3. What an exciting time this morning because we're about to delve into something really, really exciting. But I think much emphasis is placed on the fantastical worlds that adults can write for young readers to adventure and be engrossed in. But when it comes to the world of literature, it really is made all the better when stories from young minds themselves are put out into the universe.
Absolutely. And today, we're about to delve into one of these narratives called Bizarre Car, which tackles the issue of childhood obesity in quite a fun way. Now, in a moment, we'll be talking about the effects of bullying. But right now, we're joined by young author Relebogile Motema, whose first work is being published by Bala Books, a writing program dedicated to publishing young African authors. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen. She's here, joined by her mother. Kanye, thank you very much for being here. And this is such an exciting time to be a young person, to allow your creativity to flourish. And I hope you're very, very proud because you're holding in your hands. You've got to show it to everyone. Show everyone the book. There it is, Bizarre Car, your very first book that you wrote at the tender age of 7 years old.
Yes.
That is so, so cool. So what got you excited and inspired about writing?
Well, I've always enjoyed reading books, and that's why my imagination is so big, and that's why I was able to come up with something as bizarre as this.
I love it. I love it.
And I suppose that's where the name comes from, because it's also bizarre.
Yes,
it's just
it's
Bizarre
all
Car.
over the place.
It's all over the place. Okay, so Relebogile, your story is about childhood obesity. Why did you decide to write about this?
Well, back then I didn't know that it was about child obesity, but children eat a lot of junk food, and we don't take care of ourselves like often, and we don't because we think of stuff like treadmills and all this is like scary.
Yeah.
So, but we have to take care of ourselves because we have to give ourselves a voice, because I know most children don't have a voice in life. So we have to take care of ourselves, and that's why we stop eating a lot of junk food, because I know children eat a lot of junk food.
Yeah, that is so, so true. And I'm glad you're telling all your young friends out
Maybe
there.
they'll listen now.
So give us, just in short, what the story is all about.
The story is about two friends. They're avid foodies, and they live in a place that's filled with just all desserts and unhealthy food. And one day it starts raining and they eat too much junk food. So now they have to make a huge life-changing decision. And I can't tell you anymore. You have to buy the book to find out.
Ooh, cliffhanger! Cliffhanger! Oh, the suspense. Kanye, let's chat to you for a bit. Of course, you are Relebogile's mum, but you're also very much involved in developing this platform that is about creating, I guess, opportunities for young authors like Relebogile to write and publish books. How did it all come about, and what contributions have you guys made?
Sure. Bala Books started in 2012. The head honcho is Mr. Glad Kaiser. He hails from Soweto. And he's a young man who's just very passionate about child development. Bala Books focuses on, there's many aspects of it. There's a social aspect where we take children from different socioeconomic backgrounds and we pair them, and there's a peer-to-peer learning that takes place. And then also we then pair them with mentors who actually guide them through the whole process of authoring their books. And then there's the economical aspect of it, where obviously the young ones begin generating some money and understanding how to manage money. Then there's the technological aspect of it, where the books are available online. And also child authors have an opportunity to read all other books from other children on the platform, so across the world, and specifically Africa.
And it's a community, it sounds like it.
And I love the fact that the publishing company is called Bala Books, as in read books.
Yeah,
Because,
or even if you translated it to Zulu, Bala Books, which means right.
Exactly.
This is incredible.
And literacy is such an important issue that we need to tackle all throughout our education system, and getting young children, letting their creative voices flow and let them tell the stories that they want to read or like their friends to read is amazing. So when you saw Relebogile's writing prowess and her imagination after reading so many books, what made you decide as mom to get her involved and to finally have her book published?
Look, it was a commitment. I saw her passion And, as a parent, you always want to invest, in your children in whichever way possible.
Yeah.
So I saw her commitment. I saw the process also of writing the book, because it's a 10-week program where you have to wake up very early on a Saturday and be off. And at times she would want to quit, but with a lot of convincing, she would persevere. And to see the end product, it's just marvelous.
This is incredible. Lebohile, without giving off too much information about the contents of the book, what do you most look forward to as far as readers and what they can expect from the book? What are you most excited about us getting to discover?
I want them to discover that we all need to take care of ourselves, and we have to keep ourselves healthy, and we have to keep our environment healthy, and we also have to we have to keep our environment healthy, and we have to take care of each other and give each other a voice, because it's like being the person in the front and you're the person in the background that never gets to speak. So I feel like we should give each other a voice, and we should all stand in the same lane.
That is absolutely incredible. Wow.
Lebohile for president.
Wow. Wait, but before we let her go, I need to know, are there any other future books that you'd like to write and topics you'd like to write about? What are you thinking right now?
I'm not really sure about any other book topic. I think for my next book I might stick to something similar, but instead with healthy food is bad for you. So bad.
Oh, bad. That creative mind is already starting to turn my imagination. Thanks to both of you. Yes, you were about to say something.
No.
Oh, okay. I saw you guys. And I was like, but thank you very much for joining us, Lebohile and Kanye. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Well, we tip our hat to this amazing young lady who's made a serious issue more accessible for all, right? Now, the book has been released on the 27th of July, and if you would like to get more information on how to access the book, as well as the work that Bala Books does, then you can head on over to their website. It's balabooks.com.
So we know that July is Mental Health Awareness Month. We've already focused on eating disorders, but ultimately it gives us a platform and opportunity to hone in on the mental state of our country, of our children in particular, with what we are discussing right now. Bullying has been put on the radar, I think, to highlight the greater need for public awareness, first of all, and responsiveness, given the high level of violence experienced at South African schools at the moment. Social media, unfortunately, has highlighted this and probably made it a lot worse. Unfortunately, it does not stop there, as bullying can and often does have a lifelong impact on your mental health. And as we become adults, I can certainly see those effects through a lot of the work that we've done. We are now able to shed a little bit of light on this very important topic with Shukat Majenka and Abdulrahman Kenny from leading pharmaceutical provider Pharma Dynamics. Gents, first of all, how mundane and underachieving do you feel after that incredible young lady? That's it just kind of
absolutely amazing.
It highlights the need for us to protect this most precious resource even more. How bad is the state of bullying in South Africa? I know obviously we get a certain take of it from what we see on social media, but what are some of the stats?
Bullying is really on the increase at the moment, unfortunately. It's sitting at about 41% of kids at school that are being bullied at the moment. It's gone that bad. Just think of
nearly half.
Nearly half the kids at school are being bullied currently. It's becoming of almost an epidemic proportion at the moment.
That is actually terrifying. I've got a young one, and I've got friends who have got kids that are probably in that hot zone, that moving into adolescence, into teen, where it can have very damaging effects. Social media, cyberbullying. Are we seeing this? First of all, is it as bad? Is it part of the problem? And are we seeing it in that way? Are we placing enough weight on the damage that can be done with online bullying?
So, of course, we are living in the digital age. And with the advent of the internet, bullying has now spread beyond the borders of just the school. And the thing to remember about bullying is that it can be, or cyberbullying, is that it can be done anonymously. So bullies can harass their...
It's often why it happens, because you can be anonymous.
Yeah. So what happens is they can harass their victims without having any fear of being caught. And another thing to remember is that it can be done through so many channels. For example, there's SMSs, there's emails, instant messaging, social media, of course. So, for example, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, there are so many channels. So to answer your question, yes, it has definitely become a problem.
Are we seeing it as the problem that it is? Do you think, maybe both of you can weigh in, are we giving it enough gravitas, knowing the kind of damage? I mean, I've had mates, a daughter who is incredibly strong, intelligent. She's had to move schools because of what's been playing out online. Do you think we are treating it with the kind of care that we need to?
I can talk from a school's perspective. It's definitely, the education around bullying is definitely increasing. But it has to be tackled from a home perspective as well. Then the responsibility comes back to the parent and also still to the teacher or the person in the school to recognize what is happening.
Just identify those things. So let's extrapolate this a little bit. It doesn't just happen to kids. We know that it happens in the context of many people's work, but when we look at that knock-on effect, that unfortunate chain, how damaging, even to an adult, can bullying be if that's a constant thread through someone's life?
That is so accurate. There was 2 studies done in a combination of about 23,000 people from the age of about 70 to about 50 years old, and they found about 20% of those people who were bullied suffered from psychological depression, anxiety disorders, all the way through the young adulthood through to the adulthood. So the knock-on effect from school stays with you through school until a stage where you really need assistance and help. And to your point, it should be tackled earlier on, so we don't have to carry that through with us through into our adulthood and through our lives.
This show is already is starting to get me to think about what I'm teaching through my actions. Yeah. So something that you might think is a throwaway, let's tease it out, even teasing our mates. There's a lot of banter between my guy friends, but what message are you sending? That's one thing, but what else can we do to stem the tide? How do we affect the culture ultimately around bullying, do you think?
I love what you just said now. It starts with us as parents at home, you know, in terms of watch what you say and watch what you do, because the kids are so moldable that they will learn from you. From a parent, you need to try to pick up on signals. Kids clammy hands. Are they nervous? Are they not crying to want? School is it's out of bounds for them. So we need to start to look out for these signs and symptoms that could relate or reflect or even a hint of bullying. And something we need to discuss. We need to role play with kids. We need to give them scenarios of what is actual bullying. To Abdurrahman's point, for us, sometimes bullying growing up was just something physical. It's now gone to social media.
Which can be far more damaging.
Far more damaging, because now you can spread not just to one and one, but from one to many other. And we need to be able to let the kids identify that and let them know what's going on, that it's actually not okay. Because you need to identify and see it and say it. There's something happening at the schools at the moment where they're trying to tell the kids, if you're seeing bullying, say something about it. Let's stop it before it spreads.
Yeah, because you would want someone to do exactly the same thing for you. Thank you for placing so much importance on this. And we're using a word that's important here, victim. Because when you're being bullied, you're being attacked, you're being victimized. Gentlemen, thank you so much. It's left me with a lot to think about as a new parent, but I think as any adult, as any person, and especially as someone who might think that you're a victim of bullying and you don't know what to do about it, get in touch with someone who knows the landscape, and you can contact Pharma Dynamics toll-free helpline 0800 205 026. We'll have that number on all of our social media platforms as well, and it's manned by trained counsellors who are there from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., or rather 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Or additional support, you can of course visit Pharma Dynamics mental health website at it's letstalkmh.co.za. But we will have all of those details on our social media platforms. And most importantly, speak to someone. Speak to your parents. And if you're a parent and you can see you know your child better than anyone else, if you can see a change, role play, talk to them, find out what's going on.
Pharma Dynamics, effective, affordable healthcare.
Get to
a crazy store in your town this school holiday and discover a treasure trove of arts and crafts for the whole family to enjoy, as always, at great value. Paper, paints, modeling clay, sketchbooks, glitter, crayons, aprons, rubber stamps, ribbons, felt tip pens, learn to paint sets, and a whole universe of creative fun at crazy good value. Only at the Crazy Store. Holidaying near or far, there'll be one just about wherever you are.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Yeah, it's a Thursday morning. It is the 4th of July. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day, a very insightful and educational day it's been indeed, as we've explored the minds of young creative writers. We've spoken about great books in educating young boys about how to handle their relationships with the opposite sex. And we've even learned about what is happening in regards to bullying throughout the country and what we could do to help that situation.
Yeah, hugely educational. We don't stop because we're celebrating your birthdays in a bit as well as connecting with Zulu art in Balito. But right now, let's check out what's happening in the world with the news.
In the national news this morning, Johannesburg Metro Police Department officers will now escort every emergency vehicle and fire engine which are under threat of being attacked in the city of Johannesburg. Problem areas where emergency staff were attacked or robbed have been identified. Mkhuleko Hlengwa, the new chairperson of Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts, better known as SCOPA, says he wants the body to have more power to bring wayward government entities and officials into line. On the international front, an attack which killed more than 44 migrants at a detention center outside the Libyan capital could constitute a war crime, a UN official has said. China has warned the UK not to interfere in its domestic affairs amid a growing diplomatic row over the recent protests in Hong Kong. China's UK ambassador said relations had been damaged by comments by UK Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt. And then finally, many South Africans and South African organizations obviously believe education is the best investment. They're giving significantly more philanthropic funding to local universities. These are key findings from a 2017 survey in which 11 universities took part. These universities received a collective total of 1.71 billion rand in philanthropic income in that year. The largest proportion came from trusts and foundations, which contributed 42%. The number of donations between 1 million rand and 4.9 million rand more than doubled, and those exceeding 5 million rand more than tripled. The vast majority of the funding went to more traditional, research-intensive, historically disadvantaged universities. Thus, the challenge is now to address how historically disadvantaged universities can attract more funding. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Let's get another look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
Let's start with the good news first. South Africa have progressed to the last 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations following results in other groups that went our way. They've now set up a clash with Egypt on Saturday. Then another South African connection in Wimbledon. South African tennis sensation Kevin Anderson, he's advanced to Wimbledon's third round. That was after beating Serbia's Janko Tipsarevic 6-4, 6-7, 6-1, 6-4. That happened late last night. Then, of course, in the Cricket World Cup, in our ICC Cricket World Cup, watched the hosts England. They've confirmed their spot in the tournament semi-finals, looking very strong. That was after a pretty easy 119-run win over New Zealand at the Riverside Ground last night. That means that New Zealand are going to hope that Bangladesh beat Pakistan if they want to progress. But today it's a battle of the bottom of the table. Afghanistan taking on the West Indies in Leeds from 11:30 this morning. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Money.
Thanks a lot, Graham. Let's take a look at what's happening on your roads this morning. We start off in Gauteng, out in Midrand, where there has been a multi-vehicle accident on the N1 southbound after Olifantsfontein Road. One lane is currently obstructed, so please do make use of Old Pretoria Road as an alternative route. And if you're in the Western Cape, Plettenberg Bay, there is protest action on the N2 route this morning. Roads remain closed between Airport Road and Witterdrift Road. Detours are in place through to town. Please do make use of an alternative route this morning. And off to the train lines, there is an extended travel time of 40 to 60 minutes. That's on the Northern Line due to defective points at Belleville. Commuters are advised to listen for platform changes at Belleville Station. And that's where we leave it for now. Here's Kat with a look at your weather.
Yes, Weather Watch time on this Thursday morning at the top of the hour. But first, a big thank you to Charlotte Martins, who sent us an amazing sunrise picture from Rustenburg this time round in the Northwest Province. Charlotte, thank you very much. You can expect clear skies with plenty of sunshine and chilly temperatures in the evening. But throughout the day, the temperatures will reach a maximum of 23 degrees. But that looks absolutely stunning. Please keep those pictures coming so we can share them with everyone at the start of a brand new day. Taking a look at those temperatures, more specifically starting off in Polokwane, a low of 4 and a high of 23. The highest temperatures in the country in Mbombela, a low of 7 and a high of 27 degrees Celsius. Pretoria in the Gauteng province, a minimum of 5 and a high of 21. Clear skies are the order of the day in Johannesburg, and temperatures ranging between 3 and 19 degrees. In Mahikeng, a low of 2 and a high of 23. In Klerksdorp, temperatures will range between 1 and 22. There's a cold start to the morning for Kimberley, between 1 and 21 degrees as a maximum, and the lowest temperatures in the country in the Free State in Bloemfontein, -4 to 19. Richards Bay 10 to 27, Pietermaritzburg 7 to 24. Plenty of sunshine for Durban today, a low of 15 and a high of 22. Mthatha 4 to 25. East London 11 to 23, and you can expect sunny conditions in that part of the country. Very similarly so for Cradock, a low of 2 and a high of 22. High humidity in Port Elizabeth today throughout the sunny day, 11 to 20 is your temperature range, while George will see a low of 10 and a high of 19. Light north-westerly winds of about 15 kilometers per hour can be expected in Sutherland, temperatures ranging between 2 and 15 degrees Celsius. Light showers for the mother city and a low of 10 and a high of 17. Worcester 9 to 19. Springbok a low of 4 and a high of 19. And rounding things off in Uppington 3 to 24, and sunny conditions in that part of the country. But no matter what the weather is like, here's to hoping you have an absolutely fantastic Thursday. But right now, let's cross on back to Tsulu, who is in Belize.
A very good morning to you, Expresso family. If you've just joined us, we are coming to you live from KwaDuguza Beach right here in Ballito, where the Ballito Pro is taking place. It's been happening since last week Friday, and it will run until this week Sunday, until the 7th of July. It's the oldest running pro surfing event in the world, I'm told by Kai. And Kai is a surf reporter. He's going to be giving us a little bit of a weather rundown of how things are going to be panning out weather-wise today. So Kai, what's the ideal surfing conditions weather-wise?
Well, look, obviously we need waves. That's number one. And the swell forecast for this morning was meant to be a little bit bigger than it is right now. You can see it's a bit small, and we do have the spring tide on the high tide right now this morning, which makes it pretty difficult to surf the heats because a lot of water pushes in here at KwaDuguza because it's deep water to shallow bank very quickly. So we ideally prefer the low tide here, which will be about late morning. So right now the call is to just chill, wait a bit. You'll see a couple of the pros behind us there having a little warm up in the Golden golden sunlight, and then hopefully as the tide drops out, we'll see way better conditions like we did yesterday. Even though it's small, the waves were super contestable, and we should see some pretty good action coming up a little later in the morning.
As you've heard from Kai, the weather conditions are looking favorable and everything looks like it's going to be taking place quite favorably today. We are going to be catching up with Kai a little bit later on. But for now, it's back to you guys in the studio.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Oh, yeah, do the dance, do the happy dance. It's your birthday, baby. Let's make you feel extra special. We love to hear from you. If you want to nominate someone for a very special birthday, all you got to do is WhatsApp a video. Please send us a video, 071-640-6551, or you can send an email to birthdays@cordova.tv. And please, 24 hours lead time so that we can make sure we get to it. But also look at the screen. We've got calls going on. At the bottom there, you can see all awesome birthday messages. But let's do extra special birthday messages for those that got in there nice and early.
Yeah, we've got quite a few. And Alicia, or is it Annalicia rather, is celebrating her first birthday today. Happy birthday, sweetie. We hope you enjoy your special day. We love you. This is from everyone who knows you. Lots and lots of love to you. And then we've got Andries, Henley rather, sent us this message for her husband. An my man Andries op sy 60ste verjaarsdag mag hierdie dag baie spesiaal wees. Ek, die kenners en die kleinkenners is baie lief vir jou. Die birthday, Andries.
Beautiful stuff. We also have twins celebrating their birthday today. And these are twins Jalen and Jamili. There we go. Oh my goodness.
JJ.
Matching dresses and all. Your Opa Jacob says he loves you guys so very much and hopes you have an amazing year. Happy birthday, girls. Then also Aiden Willett is turning 8 years old today. Happy birthday, Aiden. This is with love from mommy, from daddy, and your brother Sky.
Happy birthday, guys. And then let's move on to our next. Abigail wants to wish her eldest son, Dawn, a happy 50th birthday. Eldest cousin, rather. Stay that sweet person that you are. Hope you will have a wonderful day. Lots of love from the entire fam. Happy birthday, Dawn. Then Leandra Bennett is also celebrating her birthday today. Here's a message from your dad. Leandra, I thank God for blessing me with a beautiful daughter like you. I wish only the brightest and the best for the future. Love you lots, my baby. That's beautiful.
That is just beautiful.
Oh,
okay, so
man, that's
Tegan
cool,
Day Lombard. Tegan Day Lombard is turning 9 years old today. The wish from his family is a beautiful wish of love and happiness to the most amazing and wonderful boy on your 9th birthday. And they say from all of us that love you, they've got such beautiful wishes for you. And then Ryan would like to wish his girlfriend Kaylin a happy 23rd birthday. Happy birthday, Kaylin. It says here, I hope you enjoy your day. May it be a splendid one. I pray God to always keep you safe. And remember that I love you. This is a happy birthday wish from Ryan to you, Kaylin. Happy birthday.
Excellent. Then also, Letlochonolo's mom sent a wish for her saying, I'd like to wish my daughter a happy birthday. Enjoy your day, my baby. Mommy loves you. I wish you all of the best. So happy birthday, Letlochonolo. And then Tenjiwe is celebrating her 17th years on the planet. And I got a message from her bestie, and that reads, my dear beloved friend, I love you so much. I wish you a wonderful day. Enjoy every minute. Don't let the good times pass. God bless you with many more years. Kisses. Love you, Sky. Love you, sky size to the moon and back. Also, love you, sky size to the moon and back. Oh, so she's gone with like the X and the Y axis.
Yeah, it's all dimensions. Just all dimensions of
wow.
worlds.
360 love.
You can absorb that. So while we go to a quick break, we'll see you now.
Get an insurance quote and stand a chance to win one of 6 Samsung S10 smartphones. Simply SMS the keyword LIFE to 31492 for a callback and quote, and you could be a winner.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, one and all. You've made the right choice this morning to tune into your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso. We're live right here on SABC3. And I'm sure you've been paying attention. If you haven't, well, it looks like Graham is shaping up to be quite the authority on shaving. And you might have noticed his beard transformation from long stubble to smoothly shaven last week, right?
Yeah, and that's because he was getting an expert guide on how to shave. And he was doing this with the Big Flex premium disposable razor. And this is how it, and by it I mean his beard, went down.
Over the last few weeks, I've been talking a lot about men's grooming with a special focus on shaving and razors. Well, today, as my beard depicts, it's time for me to master my own look with Bix Flex line of premium disposable razors. It's not going to be just any shave. I've come to Hermanos, one of the hottest barber shops in town, where a qualified barber is going to guide me through the process so I can get the best possible results, and I'm going to score an amazing cup of coffee. Gentlemen, thank you so much for welcoming me into your amazing space, and there's a really cool energy here. Starting to get a little bit emotional about letting go of my beard. But this journey, this male grooming journey that I've been on, has revealed a lot of my own misconceptions. There is a lot of misinformation out there. What are some of the big misconceptions you guys have encountered in this space?
So there's a couple of misconceptions about shaving, and the first one is that a blade is a blade is a blade, which it isn't. So not all blades are the same. You get better blades and you get not so good blades. What makes difference between the blades is obviously the metal that's used to create the blade, and then the sharpness of the blade, and some blades aren't as sharp as others. So that would also cause some irritation if it's not sharp enough. Another misconception is that your skin is normally irritated after a shave, and that is also not true. If you're shaving properly, your skin shouldn't be irritated and you shouldn't get ingrown hairs.
Let's talk about blades now. We've got 3, 4 and 5 blades in this particular range. Does it make a very big difference? How should I be considering what amounts of blades are right for me and for my shave, for my skin type?
The more sensitive your skin, the fewer the blades you should use. More blades do offer the advantage of catching more of any hair that gets left behind, but generally younger shavers and shavers with skin that's prone to sensitivity should opt for fewer blades.
The time has come. I'm really looking forward to cracking open a fresh pack of Bix Flex 5 razors. I'm also going to be using the Comfort line with aloe vera for sensitive skin, because I'm a sensitive guy. Looking forward to using the products, putting them to the test, but also having a pro looking over my shoulder as I do.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Where do I start?
So start with heat and moisture. Clean, wet, warm face.
All right, so obviously I'm using a gel in this case. What kind of consistency do you need that cream to be at?
So you're trying to work it up to get as rich and as big as possible. The shaving cream acts more as an insulation barrier than a lubricant. It keeps the moisture and the heat into the face.
Wow.
So the thicker the lather, the better the shave will be.
Let's do it. Bye-bye, beard. It's the last time I'll see you. Start there.
So try use circular motions when you're applying it. Get the brush underneath the bristles of the hair. It'll allow the shaving cream to get between skin and hair as opposed to just sitting on top of it. And then just a little hack for applying it over the upper and lower lip. Pinch your lips together like this and then be vigorous. Get up all up in there. Yeah.
I think the best piece of advice was related to, and it's quite practical, to using a shaving brush and using circular motions to stimulate the hair follicles, lift those hair follicles. It also kind of exfoliates the skin just a little bit. My skin feels fantastic. I feel like I've had like a little mini pamper session, and to know that I can do that myself and also continue that awesome culture of shaving with a brush, love it. All right, look, I'm no pro, but I feel stimulated, my skin feels stimulated, and I think I've got some pretty good coverage here. Shave.
Let's do it.
So do I rinse the blade in running water?
As often as possible. The cleaner the blade, the better. So just as a final tip, try and pay attention to shave with or at most across the grain. A lot of people have a change in direction in this area, so pay attention to come to about halfway and then come up so you don't inadvertently go against the grain. So try as much as possible to stretch the skin, particularly over the jawline where it's contoured. Give it a stretch up and then a stretch down when you're below.
A bit of stubble, skin feels soft, great, not irritated, good blades. I haven't actually used an edging blade before. I've kind of really struggled to get defined lines. I don't grow really good sideburns, but I was actually able to get quite a cool defined cut there. So the edging blade for me is a really cool feature on the blade. I think for me, ultimately, the Flex 5, when you talk about premium disposable razors, that is the most premium of the lot. And the fact that it's got that added functionality, that added bonus, awesome.
Like a new man. Awesome. So now that I've revealed this fresh, rejuvenated skin, what's the best way to look after the skin post-shave?
Well, it's a very important part of the process. Basically, the first and very important thing you want to do is to treat the skin with cold water. This prevents bacteria from entering the open pores that you've previously opened with the hot water. At Hermanos, we use a cold, wet towel on the face to do this. And then after the pores are closed, you want to pat it dry and finish off with a high-quality post-shave balm or cream. This just prevents the bacteria going into the skin, and also it finishes off and moisturizes the skin.
So a lot of guys out there have followed this grooming journey. Some top tips for South African men wanting a good, rewarding shave?
You know, we highly recommend every once in a while, once a month or so, to treat yourself for a full process here, a facial, a shave. It's got all the components of the do's and don'ts, and exfoliation, moisturizing. It's high quality pampering.
Because every man deserves a little pampering. I've loved this process. Thank you so much for taking the time and the care and for really educating me today. I really appreciate it. I will be back for the full service shave. Thank you so much, gents.
Pleasure.
Thanks for coming in, Graham.
Buddy, thank you. I have respect for what that represents. Whether you are choosing to groom a beard or go completely clean shaven, it's empowering to know how to shave in a way that works with your skin and not against it. It's my hope that after our education today, and with the technology behind Bic's Flex razors and Comfort shaving cream and gel, that you're going to approach your own shaving routine with a newfound confidence.
Wow, man.
Transformation.
Absolutely. So if you are as impressed as we are, then go on ahead and purchase your Big Flex razor at leading local retailers and learn more about the product at za.bigworld.com. And remember that you could win a R1,000 Superbalist voucher every day until the 12th of August.
So if you purchase any Big Flex razor and WhatsApp a copy of your till slip to 082-255-3706, then you stand a chance to win. So terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com. That number again is 082-255-3706. Good luck.
Master your look with Big Flex.
These to match your pants.
A very good morning to Expresso family. If you've just joined us, we are coming to you live from KwaDukuza Beach this morning. The Belito Pro is underway. It's running up until Sunday, the 7th of July. And yes, just because we're here doesn't mean that we are skipping our normal workout routine in the morning. I'm joined by Tasha Barnard, who is a Pilates instructor, and she's been involved in conducting classes at the Belito Pro for the past 4 years. Tasha, I'm going to start first of all by asking you, what are the benefits of Pilates?
So the benefits are endless, but basically what our aim is to stabilize, strengthen and stretch our joints. It's a lifestyle that people commit to, and what a better way than to start your day on the beach in Belito during the International Pro, and just very excited to have you guys here with us.
We're excited to be here.
Awesome.
I must ask you, it's very chilly, right? We are in the winter months now. So what are some fitness tips that we can incorporate in our day-to-day lives to keep us going to the gym and not falling off the wagon?
For me personally, consistency in whatever you do in life is important. So if your choice of fitness is cardio, Pilates, yoga, CrossFit, whatever it is, be consistent in that space and be safe in that space, and just keep moving your body, people.
Let's go get our bodies moving. Come, let's go show us a few Pilates moves. What are we going to be doing this morning?
We are going to do a little bit of standing stuff. So the girls have already done a lot of abdominals. They've done a lot of planking. So we're going to move into some standing stuff. So get your legs ready and let's go.
Okay.
Thanks, Ross. Give me a little high five. Okay, guys, I know your abdominals are nice and warm. We're going to start by just getting our feet a little bit wider than our hips. And we're going to start with a squat. Make sure you engage your abdominals. So I want a nice crispy posture. And come up. Awesome. You guys look amazing. And bend your knees. And up. And bend. And up. And we're going to do 2 more. Belly to spine. And 1 more. And hold it here. Engage your abdominals. Make sure your chest is upright. Your abdominals and your back wants to be in a relationship, so connect them. From here, press your hips back and go into a tabletop position. Hold your position there. Your shoulders are drawing back and away from your ears. Let's pulse the arms up. 1. Exhale, 2. Are you drawing your belly to your spine? You can bend your knees a little bit. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Touch your toes, lower down, and roll yourself up into a standing position. Coming to the center of your mat and lift your right leg up for me, guys. You're doing good, Solo. So find your stability. Stability is key. Belly to spine, and whoop, reach your arms forward and hold it here. We pulse down 1 leg, 1. Exhale, 2. And 3. Be stable, be strong. Nice, Luelle. 4, 5, 6. Belly to spine, back is active. 9 and 10. Let's do the other leg.
Thank you very much, Tash. I think that's enough for me. I'm all worked out. I might come back a little bit later on, but for now, let's get back to you guys in studio after the break.
Big or small, we've got it all. Everyone will find something at the Crazy Store. It's no wonder South Africa considers the Crazy Store the crazy fun place to shop.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso, live right here on SABC3. Lots on the go. We're about to take it to the kitchen in a bit. Making a very delicious mayonnaise potato rosti breakfast. It's a treat. A treat.
And we've been to Belito, witnessed some Pilates on the beach, on a beautifully lit beach where the competition is taking place. But of course, we'll bring you all of that. That is so good. Right now, though, let's take a look at the morning's headlines.
In the national news this morning, Johannesburg Metro Police Department officers will now escort every emergency vehicle and fire engine which are under threat of being attacked in the city of Johannesburg. Problem areas where emergency staff were attacked or robbed have been identified. Mkhuleko Hlengwa, the new chairperson of Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts, better known as SCOPA, says that he wants the body to have more power to bring wayward government entities and officials into line. On the international front, an attack which killed more than 44 migrants at a detention center outside the Libyan capital could constitute a war crime, a UN official has said. China has warned the UK not to interfere in its domestic affairs amid a growing diplomatic row over the recent protests in Hong Kong. China's UK ambassador said relations had been damaged by comments by UN Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt. And then finally, a Bloemfontein doctor who recently opened his practice is hoping to change people's lives. Nicknamed the walk-in doctor, 56-year-old Paulo de Valdeleiros has created a social frenzy in the city since opening his doors because patients just walk in, are examined and then asked to pay what they can afford, whether it be 10 Rand or 500 Rand. Valdeleiros, who enrolled to study medicine at the University of the Free State at the age of 45, said that it had been his lifelong dream to study for a degree in medicine, but because his family came from Mozambique in 1974 after losing everything, this had not been possible. It took him until his 40s to achieve this, and now he is giving back, and what an inspiration he is. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. Let's get another look at what's happening in the world of sport.
Thanks, Lee. Plenty of good news to report on. First up in football, South Africa have progressed to the last 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations following the results in other groups that went our way. So Bafana have now set up a clash with Egypt on Saturday. Then another South African connection in tennis. South African tennis star Kevin Anderson has advanced to the Wimbledon third round. That was after beating Serbia's Janko Tipsarevic 6-4, 6-7, 6-1, 6-4 last night. And in the Cricket World Cup action coming out of yesterday, England, the hosts, they've confirmed their spot in the tournament semi-finals. That was after ultimately a pretty easy 119-run win over New Zealand at the Riverside ground last night. So New Zealand have to hope that Bangladesh can beat Pakistan tomorrow if they would like to progress. Then action continuing today with the bottom of the table clash between Afghanistan and the West Indies. All for pride in Leeds from 11:30 this morning.
Thanks, G-Man. Let's take another look at your roads this morning. Starting off out in Gauteng, Edenvale, there has been an accident on the N3 northbound. That's between Modderfontein Road as well as Inlands Interchange. Please approach with caution. In the Western Cape, out in Khayelitsha on the N2 inbound, there are roadworks before the R300 off-ramp. One lane is currently obstructed and delays can be expected up to Mew Way. So please do pay attention when you drive around that area. And off to the trains, there is an extended travel time of 30 to 40 minutes. That's on the Central Line due to sets out of service and infrastructure problems in various areas. Captain's Clip trains will now terminate at Philippi, and commuters are advised to please make use of an alternative mode of transport. And that's where we leave it for now. Here's Kat with the weather.
Time now for your Thursday weather watch on the half-an-hour mark. But before we start with that, let's say a big thank you to Jackie Viviers, who sent us a spectacular sunrise from Port Grosvenor in the Wild Coast. Jackie, thank you very much for that stunning, beautiful picture. You can expect sunny conditions with beautiful, warm temperatures reaching a maximum of 24 degrees for your day. But let's take a look at those temperatures around the country, starting in Polokwane, a low of 4 and a high of 23. The highest temperatures in the country in Mbombela between 7 and 27 degrees Celsius. Let's go on over to the Gauteng province, Pretoria between 5 and 21. Clear skies for Johannesburg, a low of 3 and a high of 19. In the Northwest province, Mahikeng between 2 and 23, and Clasop 1 and 22. It's going to be a cold start for the morning in Kimberley in the Northern Cape. Your temperatures ranging between 1 and 21 degrees Celsius, while the lowest temperatures in the country are in the Free State in Bloemfontein between -4 and 19 degrees Celsius. Richards Bay, your low of 10 and a high of 27. Pietermaritzburg 7 to 24. There's plenty of sunshine for Durban today with a low of 15 and a high of 22. Mthatha between 4 and 25. East London, your low of 11 and a high of 23 degrees Celsius. Cradock, sunny conditions throughout the day and a low of 2 and a high of 22, while high humidity will be the order of the day in Port Elizabeth, a low of 11 and a high of 20. George, temperatures ranging between 10 and 19. There'll be a light northwesterly wind of 15 kilometers per hour in southern today. temperatures ranging between 2 and 15 degrees Celsius. Light showers can be expected in the mother city and temperatures a low of 10 and a high of 17. Worcester between 9 and 19. Springbok 4 to 19. And rounding things off in Uppington, a low of 3 and a high of 24. Well, that's what the weather looks like, but no matter what the temperature looks like in your part of the country, here's to hoping you have a wonderful Thursday. Right now, let's head on right back to Belito with Solo.
From a weather report to now a surf report. If you've just joined us, we are coming to you live from the Belito Pro here at KwaDukuza Beach, and we are talking everything surfing. Captain Kai is joining me, and he's going to be telling us about how the weather is going to be looking like over the next couple of days, right until the 7th of July when the Belito Pro does conclude. So what can we expect over the next couple of days, Kai?
Well, the forecast is looking pretty good. We've got a bit of a southwest buster coming up with a big low pressure system up the coast tomorrow. The southwest wind is not the ideal wind for here. It comes across from the Durban side towards the Mozambican side of the KwaDukuza coastline, and it can make things a little choppy and bumpy, but the good news is it brings the swell with it. And also the other side of the good news is that it does push the sand into the bank and fill up all the holes. The good news for the surfers, though, is that a lot of these professional surfers like doing aerials, and that wind can work to that favor. It comes down the face, they can launch into the wind. So we'll probably see some competition on the low tide tomorrow, but if you're in KwaDukuza on the weekend, Saturday is the day. We're looking at a dreamboat little forecast for KwaDukuza, some proper swell, perfect light winds, and it's going to look like a really nice day too. So Saturday is looking incredible. We'll probably try push as much competition. We might even finish on Saturday. So for me, that's the day to look out for. Sunday, again, back to the southwest, but in the morning will probably be pretty nice. So they might look towards running semis, finals on Sunday. But for me, the day to look out for and the day to get down here to this beautiful beach is Saturday.
As you've heard from Kai, for yourself Saturday, if you're in Durban, come to the Belito Pro. It's going to be a beautiful day of surfing and so much more. We're not done here on the beach at KwaDukuza. Still so much coming up. We're going to be chatting to a very well-renowned sports commentator and MC. All that coming up a little bit later on, so stay tuned. But for now, it's back to you guys in Cape Town.
Hi. Thank you very much. So things looking good in Belito. Beautiful day, isn't it?
Oh, always beautiful. I mean, all of the things. Well, it's at the beach, the sun, the sand. Each day this week, we have been giving you a clue of the island for Tropica Island of Treasure. We now know that the island is in the Caribbean, has a Dutch influence, and has a fascinating wildlife. And today we're going to continue with those clues about the hidden treasures.
Indeed. So let's open up our treasure chest full of clues. As the treasure would be. Wait, there we go.
Right
there we go. I'm good.
Man,
all right.
all of the gold.
So we've got some more clues. Now, the Dutch arrived on this particular island in 1934, and they built forts at key points to protect themselves from foreign powers, from privateers and pirates. Now, under the sea and along the shoreline of this island, you'll find many shipwrecks. In fact, shipwrecks are very common throughout history, especially in the earlier days in which people began international traveling and trade via ships. And many times these ships, or these ship crews, would meet rough waters, and then that would lead them to a shipwreck. And this island is home to a number of those shipwrecks.
Wow. There's also unspoiled hidden caves along the coastline. The caves consist of marine coral limestone, which accumulated over millions of years, and after sea levels had dropped, were exposed to atmospheric corrosion and processes. I mean, that's a pretty interesting thing, you know. I mean, there's so much that the island has to offer.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just exploring those caves?
I would love to do that. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine maybe like a high possibility that a pirate might have left a treasure chest of gold somewhere there on the tropical island of treasure? The contestants could find it.
Arr, matey.
There could be like a millie inside it.
Ooh, I think there'd be more than a millie, maybe a billy.
Are we going to go on this route? Because you know we can do this like...
Okay, so we want to know from you, can you name the island in the Caribbean that will be the home to Tropica Island of Treasure Season 9? And I'm asking you genuinely because not even I know. So you need to go to @MyTropica social pages and take a guess. Tomorrow we will be revealing the island, so make sure not to miss out.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I am so parched from excitement.
We've had some great creative guesses all throughout thus far. far, but I can't wait to see whether somebody actually gets it right, because we'll be revealing it tomorrow. And of course, this could be your chance to win that smooth fame and fortune. Thank you very much on hashtag TIOT9. Remember that entries open in August, so get those energy levels up, get that creativity revved up.
Why aren't you moving to the music?
I'm trying to get people to just like feel me on this. Are you okay, Miss Billy?
Hello.
You do your thing.
Billy.
Bon boy.
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, Be Well gave us everything we needed to become mayonnaise masters on Monday. And of course, we are continuing with that with a very delicious recipe, potato breakfast rosties. And here to help us make that is the one, the only private chef, Neil Anthony, everybody. Pew, pew, pew. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
I am fantastic.
Looking dashing in double denim today.
Thank you. We're all about double denims today.
I didn't get the brief
Very
for
versatile.
double denim, but that's
we
fine.
need to talk to them
4th
about
of July.
that. Hey, it's all good. Happy Independence
Exactly.
Day.
Happy birthday, America.
Oh yes. Okay. So let us also celebrate our independence, and let's make a beautiful breakfast. I love that it's potato rosties.
Indeed.
I always choose that whenever I go to a
Super simple
restaurant.
to do.
And now you're going to teach us how to make it.
Super easy to make. All you do is grate your potato. There's lots of water in the potato, so you want to just squeeze any sort of excess water out.
Yes, yes.
Then just pop it into your bowl.
All right.
Then you can flavour it with whatever you want. I've got some red onion there. We've got some garlic going in. That can go in. Boom. Pepper, salt. A little bit of baking powder.
Alrighty.
Tiny bit of flour. A little bit of fresh thyme goes in there as well, or fresh rosemary or whatever.
Get in there.
And then, just get involved, you know what I mean? Don't mess around too much. You could put some mayonnaise in here if you're feeling really funky. I like to actually sort of put a touch in, but we're going to leave this one out this time.
Fantastic.
We've got a nice pan warming up over there.
Nice. You've got
some
your
of our
Be Well canola oil there.
Canola oil goes bang in.
Stunning.
And then you just sort of, you can make these as big or as small as you want.
Yeah. How hot does this pan need to be? Not too hot, I suppose.
A little sizzle. You heard a little sizzle as it went in there. And then it takes about sort of, 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, well, while you're busy waiting for your potato rosti to become all brown and delicious, Be Well is the only mayo endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation of South Africa. It carries the Cancer Smart Choice seal that you'll see on the packaging. It's also high in vitamin E and omega-3s and helps lowers the risk of heart disease, depression and arthritis. That's what we love the most. And it is made exclusively using locally sourced GMO-free canola oil. And of course, when it comes to that smoke point, Chef,
exactly.
Be Well fry while oil is perfect for frying as it has a high smoke point and neutral flavor. It's been formulated for increased oxidative stability, meaning the oil is not denatured when heated. Very important.
Wow, very important.
Thank you.
So, magic of TV, there we go. Boom. One we have done before. All we've got now is a bit of wilted spinach. Now you can go, you know, smoke salmon on this, you can go bacon on this. We're going to keep this one veggie today.
Nice.
Some beautiful little oven roasted tomatoes. They go around like that.
Yeah.
Nice soft poached egg.
Oh, this
Pop
is
that
looking
down there.
so good.
Another few tomatoes.
Yeah.
Some crispy fried sage, which goes really nice
for a little
with
bit
this.
of texture.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Micro herbs, that's
Some
for the
micros.
garnishing.
And then we've got our Be Well mayonnaise on there as well.
Talking about Be Well, that is the keyword for this recipe this morning. If you would like us to send you the keyword and the link to the recipe, all you have to do, and the ingredients list, of course, all you have to do is SMS the keyword Be Well to 33728. It's got a creamy gourmet mayo, and it is got a very subtle flavor, allowing the taste of the foods and the ingredients to be accelerated
Vegan as well, I think,
and
isn't it?
elevated. Absolutely amazing. Chef,
Boom, there we go.
This looks so good.
You just want the mayonnaise to sort of cascade down the side.
Gorgeous. Look at this.
Bang.
Huh? It's like artwork that is about to go into my mouth. Wonderful stuff. Go team.
Thank you.
Huh?
Bang.
You can make me breakfast
Any
any
day.
day. I love it. Well, breakfast is a breeze once again, thanks to Be Well. To get this recipe sent directly to your phone, simply SMS the keyword Be Well to 33728. Shout out to Private Chef Neil Anthony for another mouth-watering mayonnaise masterpiece. And you can try this breakfast tomorrow and let us know what you think. Shall we have a taste?
Let's do it.
Wonderful
Dig in.
stuff. I'm going to take this. Alrighty, so good. You got to get everything. You got to get everything in there. One tomato. Oh, no rusty. Amazing. So good.
Wow.
It does look
What
yum.
is going on in that kitchen? It just sounds like the most awesome breakfast anyone has ever eaten. Neil Anthony, you are a genius, sir.
Okay, so it's time for us to shift our focus over now to some music. It's all about creating a playlist for you, right? And beauty is found within for Ed Sheeran. He's got a brand new music video out.
It's going to break the internet, no doubt. But the whole vibe here with Beats Uncovered is not only tracking some new music from some of the stars we know, but also stars that are on an upward trajectory. A great way to, as T said, start planning your own playlist. And it comes from an absolute musical genius himself, Mr. Nick Hammond.
Just ourselves, I could use some help getting out.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your favorite DJ Nick Hammond here, back with another week of Beats Uncovered. Jumping in with pick number 1 this week. It's the latest single from Ed Sheeran off his upcoming EP called Beautiful People.
Beautiful people, top designer clothes, front row fashion shows. What you
The latest single from Ed Sheeran is set to be featured off his upcoming EP collaborations project number 6, due for release on the 12th of July. On this track, he teams up with singer, songwriter, and R&B superstar Khalid. So far on this album, we know that he's going to be working with the likes of Chance the Rapper, Justin Bieber, Skrillex, and many, many more. Look out for the full project on the 12th of July, but for now, enjoy the latest single from Ed Sheeran, pick number 1 this week on Beats Uncovered.
We are not beautiful.
My second pick for you guys this week comes from Dermot Kennedy, and it's called Outnumbered.
On the nights you feel outnumbered, maybe I'll be out there somewhere.
Dermot Kennedy is a singer-songwriter who broke out onto the scene this year in 2019, hailing from Dublin, Ireland. The first single that he played on 5FM, which we gave a lot of airtime to and got a lot of love from you guys, was called Lost, and it came out back in February of this year. Dermot Kennedy has now told us that in September he's going to be releasing his first debut album called Without Fear, and this latest track, Outnumbered, is going to be featured as its first single. The song is about overcoming the feeling of being overwhelmed. I hope you enjoy it, I hope you like it. Keep an eye on pick number 2 this week, Outnumbered from Dermot Kennedy.
But I ask you to never leave behind the reciprocal. We're past that, love is not designed for the cynical, so we
My third and final pick this week, of course, has to be local. It's by Beneco, called It's Not True Love.
to see this through. Come on, darling.
By Beneko, who I strongly suggest you should go check out more music from, on electro dream pop act based in Johannesburg, who over the last couple of years have started to grow some real traction in South Africa, playing many of our country's major festivals. For now, enjoy the single. I'm playing it on Hammond Time, and if you like it, please let me know. It's pick 3 this week on Beats Uncovered on Expresso. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to keep checking out Beats Uncovered every week on Expresso for the latest music from the 5FM playlist with me, Nick Hammond. And in the meantime, keep listening to me on 5FM Mondays to Fridays, 9 to 12, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Cheers.
Much for bringing us the hottest music currently on our radios. And of course, now it's time for us to talk about the hottest trends, and that being denim. Now, we all know that denim is classic. It's one of those versatile items. It's something that's never going to go out of style. It is absolutely genius. And here to take us through some of the top trends and how you can be wearing your denim, we have got stylist to the stars, Bronwyn Day, everybody. How are you, Bronwyn?
I'm good.
So good to have you in studio this morning.
Thank you.
Listen, we're all doing denim. I think we look fabulous.
I think amazing. There's lots of double denim everywhere.
It's wonderful. I could do denim every day of the week and twice on Sundays and never get tired of it. But why exactly is denim such a popular wardrobe classic?
Well, it's just been around for so long. It started as a workwear trend, and now it's just everybody's closet classic. And what's so great about denim is that you can dress it up or down. So it's really versatile, which we love. Also, what I love about Re-Denim at the moment at Woolworths is that they've got a whole sustainability angle, which is great. So it's less chemicals, less water. So ticking that box. Yeah. And obviously it becomes a statement piece, as we've seen today. Everybody's wearing their double denim, and it's really great on our presenters.
Look at the G over there. G, give us a twirl, darling. Give us a twirl.
This morning's poll.
Woo!
It looks really great.
So let's talk about, you know, some of the international trends that have kind of influenced this season's collection.
Yes. So first up, we've got double denim. It's a really, really big one, and it's head to toe. It doesn't have to mean you have to wear it, you know, all matching. So you can wear light denim with dark denim, black denim with blue denim, white denim. So it's really, really, really awesome. Yeah. Second up, another really, really big trend is this sort of acid vintage wash, which is just fabulous and all over the runways, and it's just really cool, and it's a bit of a nod to the 80s, which I love.
I love a nod to the 80s. It's absolutely fabulous.
And then third up, a really, really important trend is this utility denim, which you'll see on screen soon. Yes. And utility denim is all about sort of pockets and making sure that you bring in your beige tones. So it can be khaki denim, it can be brown denim. It doesn't necessarily have to be blue denim. So it's a really nice combination as well.
Exactly.
And the fourth trend is sort of denim by night, which I love. So this is where you can really dress up your denim. You can wear printed denim. It doesn't have to necessarily be blue denim only, but it's just a glam way you can add accents, accessories, and just really vamp up your look, which is awesome.
Exactly. I love that. And then there was something that we were talking about earlier, denim to disco?
Yes, denim to disco, which is, as you can see now, just really, really glamorous. And as we were saying, you can take a really casual pair of jeans, add a metallic top, and just go from like day to night in an instant, which is really awesome.
So we've seen what it looks like on a runway, but how do us, the layman, the normal man on the street, how do we achieve these looks?
Well, we've put together some really great looks from Woolworths, which is all in store, and we just love what we've got for you this morning. So first up, we're going to have Listel, and she's going to come on and show us a little bit of a double denim take here. We've got an embroidery detail on the denim, which is another key trend this season. Really, really important accent on denim. It can be on a skirt, a shirt, a pocket. And I love the way this looks. It's got a casual feel with a utility jacket thrown in, and just nice for weekend, but with boots can be worn out. So just really versatile and easy to wear from day to weekend to a lunch.
Look at that.
And I just love the way the washed out detail on the on the
if
shirt.
If you were to change the shoe and put on maybe like a stiletto or sneaker, it would change it up again.
Absolutely. So that's the versatility side, which we're just loving about this Re-Denim. I love the collection. There's so much in store. We could have gone mad. So I'm really enjoying this as a sort of more take on blue with the element of relaxed feel as well.
Wonderful. Let's take a look at our second model.
And our second guy is looking really Lenny Kravitz-like. I'm loving his look, and I've kind of given him more of a washed-out denim feel, which is another big trend. So it can be worn all together, as you see, with a great biker jacket feel. So it just has like a bit of a rocker edge. And I just love the way we've layered this denim, so it doesn't feel too static. It's just got a relaxed, casual feel, but lovely for nighttime party. Depending on your work, you can even wear it to work. So it's really cool.
Exactly. Let's take a look at model number 3.
Yes. So we love this look on Aiden.
Loving this look,
and
Aiden.
This is like a safari dude with a bit of a utility urban feel. And I just love these khaki tones we were talking about earlier, Leanne. Like really important to mix up your beiges, your khakis with your blue denims.
So good.
Again, just kind of really wonderful to wear all together or mixed up, which is really fun.
And I love that you can mix the different denims. It's not like it has to be the same color.
No.
You can wear them in any way. It's so versatile.
Yeah,
Model
I
number
love
4.
that. And this is sort of more glam evening denim. I love this printed denim. I love leopard print. As you can see, I'm such a... It's really awesome. And I love the way it kind of feels sexy and sassy and a little bit more glam for evening with a pair of boots, great statement accessories, and it just has a strong sort of great feel about going out, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, fabulous. Look at those wonderful looks and how to achieve it. Are those all our models?
Those are our models.
Those are all of our models.
Those are the looks for today, and we can get them all in just to have a last look at them all together, all re-denim.
Stunning.
And all at Woolies now. So really cool.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Our models look amazing. Thank you so much, Bronwyn. Denim excites me, and it's not going anywhere, so we might as well have fun with it, right?
Yep, it's
there
here to stay.
There you have it. You can shop all of these fabulous, genius Woolworths denim looks in store, online, or on your Woolies app. We'd also love to hear from you too, so let us know on our social media what your favorite denim look is, and you can tag us in all of your pics.
It's a denim explosion.
Boom, boom. I'm just getting my inspiration from the models, man. They're doing their thing.
It's the vibe. It's the pose within a pose within a pose. You know, you got great poses.
What are we even doing? We're going to an ad break. That's what we do. But like, just doing it like this. What do you know about this?
It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Nice denim, dude. Are you owning it? Are you
and
feeling
yours
it? Hey,
too.
thank
I'm
you,
still
man.
going
I don't know. We're going to have to all work on our poses a little bit.
It works for boomerangs.
But I've got to thank the viewers for picking the blue on blue, denim on denim vibe. Yeah. Absolutely loving it. Well, let's get back into those news headlines now, see what's happening across the globe.
In the national news this morning, Johannesburg Metro Police Department officers will now escort every emergency vehicle and fire engine which are under threat of being attacked in the city of Johannesburg. Problem areas where emergency staff were attacked or robbed have been identified. Mkuleko Hlengwa, the new chairperson of Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts, better known as SCOPA, says he wants the body to have more power to bring wayward government entities and officials into line. Now moving further abroad, an attack which killed more than 44 migrants at a detention center outside the Libyan capital could constitute a war crime, according to a UN official. China has warned the UK not to interfere in its domestic affairs amid a growing diplomatic row over the recent protests in Hong Kong. China's UK ambassador said relations had been damaged by comments by UK Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt. And then finally, many South Africans and South African organizations obviously believe education is the best investment. They are giving significantly more philanthropic funding to local universities. Now, these are key findings from a 2017 survey in which 11 universities took part. These universities received a collective total of 1.71 billion rand in philanthropic income in that year. The largest proportion came from trusts and foundations, which contributed 42%. The number of donations between 1 million rand and 4.9 million rand more than doubled, and those exceeding 5 million rand more than tripled. The vast majority of the funding went to more traditional, research-intensive, historically advantaged universities. Thus, the challenge is now to address how historically disadvantaged universities can attract more funding. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Let's get a final look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
Let's kick it off with the good news first. South Africa have progressed to the last 16 of the African Cup of Nations following results in other groups that went Bafana's way. They've now set up a clash with Egypt this coming Saturday. Then another South African connection in the world of tennis as SA tennis star Kevin Anderson has advanced to the Wimbledon third round. That was after beating Serbia's Janko Tipsarevic 6-4, 6-7, 6-1, 6-4 last night. And in our 2019 ICC Cricket World Cup watch, hosts England yesterday confirmed their spots in the tournament semi-finals and was after a pretty easy 119-run win over New Zealand. So they now join, of course, Australia and India. New Zealand have to hope that Bangladesh beat Pakistan tomorrow if they're going to progress. Then it's a bottom of the table clash this morning, kicking off at 11:30 in Leeds, Afghanistan taking on the West Indies. And that's a wrap of your sport for today.
Thank you so much, Graham. Let's take a final look at your roads this morning and what they're looking like out in Gauteng, Bedford View. There has been an accident there on the N12 westbound after Edenvale Road. The right lane is currently blocked, so please approach with caution. And if you are in the Western Cape and Athlone on the N2 inbound, there is a stationary vehicle that's after Jan Smuts Drive. It's obstructing the emergency lane, so please do keep a lookout for this. And if you are using trains this morning, there's an overhead electrical problem between Langa and Mutual, which is impacting Chris Hani and Lavistown trains, and all trains are temporarily suspended, and commuters as a result are advised to please make use of an alternative mode of transport this morning. And that's where we leave it for now. Here is Kat with the weather.
Thursday Weather Watch at the top of the hour, and we say a big thank you to Sam Cross for your beautiful orange skyline all the way from Durban, as well as Charlotte Martins for a sunrise picture sent through from Rustenburg, and lastly Jacques Verveers, who sent us a spectacular sunrise from Port Grosvenor in the Wild Coast. We really do appreciate those. Please do keep them coming. We love sharing them with the nation at the start of a brand new day. But let's take a look at those temperatures. Beginning in Polokwane, a low of 4 and a high of 23. The highest temperatures in the country in Mbombela today, between 7 and 27 degrees Celsius. Let's head on over to Gauteng in Pretoria, between 5 and 21, while clear skies are the order of the day for Johannesburg, a low of 3 and a high of 19. In the northwest, in Mahikeng, your temperatures will range between 2 and 23. Klerksdorp between 1 and 22. It's a cold start to the morning for Kimberley in the Northern Cape, a low of 1 and a high of 21, while the lowest temperatures in the country are in Bloemfontein in the Free State, -4, reaching up to a maximum of 19. Richards Bay between 10 and 27. Pietermaritzburg 7 and 24. Plenty of sunshine for Durban today, a low of 15 and a high of 22. Mthatha between 4 and 25. East London a low of 11 and a high of 23, while Cradock will see temperatures ranging between 2 and 22. High humidity for Port Elizabeth today, a low of 11 and a high of 20. George, sunny conditions and temperatures ranging between 10 and 19. A light northwesterly wind of 15 kilometers per hour in Sutherland today, and a low of 2 and a high of 15. Some light showers for the mother city can be expected today, a low of 10 and a high of 17. Worcester between 9 and 19. Springbok, a sunny day for you, a low of 4 and a high of 19. And rounding things off in Uppington, sunny conditions there and a low of 3 and a high of 24. But whatever the weather in your part of the country, here's to hoping you have a thunderous Thursday as we quickly check in with Tulu and the team in Belito with all of the excitement of the competition.
From the weather report to our final surf report. Good morning if you've just joined us. We are coming to you live from Guaduguza Beach where the Belito Pro is taking place. And with me is Captain Kai, who's going to give us our final surf report. Kai, how's the weather looking like today?
Well, as you can see, it's turning into a beautiful day down here. And I mean, we have had nothing but good weather so far in this event. This place in winter is amazing. This morning we got down here, it looked a bit like a lake, but that was that spring high tide. The tide is draining out now. The beautiful little offshore breeze going, and that new swell is starting to arrive out of the deep Southern Ocean. And the good news is the call has been made. We're starting in 15 minutes. We'll probably look at about 6 to 7 hours of action today down here in Guaduguza.
So, like you mentioned, the call has been made. Proceedings are going to be getting underway in about 5 minutes. What can we expect from this day at the Belito Pro?
Well, you've got the world's best surfers all trying to get onto that big championship tour. It's the first 10,000-point qualifying event of the year, so it's a big one. And the good news is we've had 11 South Africans in the draw. That's a record. We've never had so many guys qualify this early to get into the big event, and a whole bunch of them are coming up later this morning.
And for all those who want to be in Belito, who want to catch all the action live, but unfortunately can't do so, how can they go about catching all the action on other platforms?
Well, the good news is WSL are a big international surf company, and they've got everything sorted for you. You can watch on WSL QS on Facebook Live, or you can download the WSL app off of any device and watch all the action on your cell phone.
As you've heard from Kai, if you can't be here, you can catch all the action on Facebook and on the platforms that he's just mentioned. We are going to be bringing you one last guest here at the Belito Pro. He's an MC, he's an actor, he's a singer, and he's the event ambassador. But for now, it's back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks a lot, Sulu. Yes, bring us all the excitement of the Belito Pro, which concludes this Saturday.
How much
and it
do you
sounds like
wish
it's
you
gonna
were
be
on a
great.
beach in Durban?
It'd be really, really good right now. It'd be really
yeah, it's
good.
tough, man. But I am actually really looking forward to being in studio in just a few moments. Baby talk, are very self-indulgent. Generally for Kat and I, we've learned so much, and hopefully you guys have as well. But we're going to be focusing on the moms after the break. We're going to be looking at mama's nutrition, at some key growth phases for you moms and for the little one that's possibly growing inside of you.
Absolutely. All of that and all that is so good right after the break.
Enjoy a moment in between with McAfee. See you after the break.
Science reaches for the truth. It works for the big and small, for the old and young. And with knowledge as our first ingredient, science is at the heart of our food. For differences you can see, feel, and trust. It all starts with science.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Just follow that gorgeous, cute little giggle all the way to your TV screens. Welcome back. You're with Expresso. Time to delve into another edition of Baby Talk. Certainly, I think one of Kat and my favourite parts of the show. And as we continue to build around the theme of Mental Wellness Month, which is so important, we are still discussing the topic of how traditional wellness of a mom can affect the mental wellness of a baby. Part of a much broader discussion, I know. And in studio, we've got clinical dietitian Amanda Rush Ferreira to shed some light on this topic. We can be light about it and we can get really heavy with it. This is a very, very important topic.
Absolutely. Great to have you here with us, Amanda.
Thank you.
So let's talk about how mom's nutrition does affect her own mental health and also her emotional well-being.
So it's non-negotiable and totally accepted in research that there's a huge link between your mood and your food. And what you eat and what you don't eat can create deficiencies, and this is especially important in your mothers, your pregnant mothers, your breastfeeding mothers, because they already have higher requirements of nutrients and higher risk of deficiencies. And the stats actually show that your pregnant mothers, about 20% of them are suffering with depression, and about 15% of your postnatal mothers are suffering with depression. So those are very alarming stats. So it just shows you that we really need to focus on the nutrition of these mothers to help to improve their mental health. And what we've seen in research is that they've compared the Western diet, which is very refined, very processed, very high in sugar, lots of junk food, and they've compared that to your traditional diets, like your Mediterranean diets and your Japanese diets, high in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, things like that, omegas, exactly. And it shows us that the Western diet increases our risk of depression by 25 to 35%.
Wow.
So that makes a huge difference.
Depression, a big part of that stems from a lack of control or a feeling of not being able to control your own situation, your own state. Yet this is one thing that we can very much control.
Exactly.
I know that within the wonder of pregnancy and watching what's happening within your wife, your partner's kind of that cycle of pregnancy, what's happening within them and within the baby are very interlinked, but we have to be able to identify two separate streams here in terms of what's going on for that baby. How can the nutrition of the mom, especially during pregnancy, affect the well-being of the baby?
Well, nutritional deficiencies in the mom can have a huge impact on the baby. For example, some research suggests that a choline deficiency in the mother can predispose a baby to schizophrenia. Also, we need to look at the link between the mother's mental health and the child's mental health. So research shows us that a mother who is stressed and anxious and or depressed actually can impact the neurodevelopmental outcomes of the baby. So we're looking at things like developmental delays, emotional problems, ADHD, and these can all present in your child who's been born of a mother who struggled with anxiety and depression.
Yeah. So with that said, then, what would some of the key nutrients, because we're focusing in on that, be that directly impact the mental health of mom?
So there's loads of nutrients associated with depression, anxiety, and ill mental health, but the one that's been focused on mostly with maternal depression is omega-3s. Now, omega-3s are a really powerful anti-inflammatory, have very powerful anti-inflammatory properties, and that acts on what we call the HPA axis. And the axis actually impacts your stress response. And also the omega-3s are necessary to manufacture dopamine and serotonin, which, as everyone knows, are your happy hormones.
Happiness.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's been really focused on. And of course, omega-3s are important for all other reasons in pregnancy, for the baby's brain development, for the mom's brain health, etc., etc. So
Vital.
Yeah, so
vital. We know, and that's, I mean, it comes as part of now almost your pregnancy nutrients pack. It's being driven, but I think we often forget about the fact that these things exist in our food. They are there, they can be part of a healthy diet, but this is, I think you can see Kat and I are both thinking so much about this, and hopefully this has sparked something within you at home as well. We're going to continue talking about the relationship between nutrients and mental health, in particular when it focuses on pregnant women and mothers, and we'll continue that discussion in just a moment.
Ah, man, always some notes to be taken where baby talk is concerned here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, we've asked you on social media what life lessons you'd like to pass on to your children. We've received lots and lots of really inspiring comments that I hope you're going to leave us all inspired to do the same with our children if you've got children, right?
Yeah, you're not going to pass on your drawing skills, but there'll be other things, I'm sure, that you are going to teach them in this life. Let's talk about what our Expresso family has to say. I'm going to kick it off with Shireen Abrams, who says, I always tell my daughter to respect your elders and appreciate what you have. That's amazing. Kauhelo says, be brave and willing to take what life throws at you. Let's take a look here. Melissa says, good manners will take you far in life. Shoo, where did that go? But that's what Melissa says. Good manners will take you far in life. Find it one more time. Appreciate what you have. Be flexible and make do with what you have, because we don't want what can happen in life. So it's very cool. Thank you so much, Expresso family. Keep those comments coming.
Yeah, please use that hashtag Expresso Show. We love to get all these messages and we are all learning as we go along as well. Let's go down to Durban.
Incredible amount of money raised. Big thanks to...
A very good morning to Expresso family. If you've just tuned in, we are coming to you live from the Ballito Pro 2019, the oldest running surfing competition. And with me is Sel Masekela. I'm very honored to be standing next to him. He's an actor, he's a singer, he's the son of South African jazz legend Hugh Masekela. And of course, he's the event ambassador for the 2019 Ballito Pro. Sel, thank you for chatting to us.
Good morning, man. It's nice to be here with you.
And I'm going to start off by asking you, how did your passion and your love for surfing start?
You know, I grew up in New York City where there was no surfing. And then my mother and my stepfather moved to California when I was 16. And I moved to a town where this is what everybody did. And we were maybe a kilometer from the beach. And the first time that I stood up on a wave, it was like a spiritual experience. I was 16 years old. And I remember falling off the wave, standing up and being like, okay, I think I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
And let's talk about your involvement in the Ballito Pro. How did that come about? How long have you been involved with the Ballito Pro for?
I've been trying to get to the Ballito Pro for like the last 5 years. But it's never really coincided with my work schedule at home. I'm a presenter and I do a bunch of things for Red Bull Media House at home. But this year, the window was perfect. The organizers contacted me a few months ago and asked me if I wanted to come down and be the ambassador, which was really humbling considering last year was the 4-time South African world champion, Sean Thompson, and this year it's me. I've always wanted to come to this event in this region. It's a special event. It's also the first big contest of the season where you got big points. This is an event that feeds into qualifying for the World Tour, so you have the world's best here.
As an ambassador, what exactly is your role?
My role is to get on the microphone and do the broadcast. This is broadcast to the entire world. People can log on to WSL.com and watch the event. But I've also had the privilege of getting in and around the KZN area and showcasing some of the culture. So I got to go to the Luthuli Museum, and I got to actually spend time with Dr. Luthuli, his daughter, and that was really special. We went to the opening of the first public swimming pool here in Kwadukuza, and we went to Umfolozi out to a range in the area of Shaka's old hunting grounds, which was really special. So, I mean, the fact that you can go like 2 hours from here in Ballito and be out with the Big Five and be in that like historical heritage place of Shaka's is special. This is a unique place in the world.
Now, you touched on it briefly now when you've just mentioned the highlights of your tour to South Africa. What have you enjoyed most about being back home?
I like being amongst South Africans, man. You know, when I'm here, I feel like I'm home. You know, I was born of exile. When my father was in exile for 30 years, so I didn't get to come to South Africa for the first time until I was 19. So every trip that I make down here, I get to build a stronger relationship, and I feel South African. One of the real special things is that there are a lot more kids here in South Africa, kids of color, that are getting the opportunity to surf. So I actually spent some time with the kids from Surfers Not Street Children in Durban, where you get young kids who are street kids that have had their lives transformed by surfing. So for me, the first time that I came to South Africa to surf, they actually tried to arrest me at New Pier in 1991. And so the day before yesterday, I was able to go and surf with 30 young, black kids together at a place where I got arrested the first time I tried to surf there.
And what can people expect from today's events?
Today's event is going to be high performance surfing. The waves are not very big, but we have a new swell that's starting to show. So you get to see a variance of real progressive maneuvers, guys who are doing airs, the kind of things that you might see when you watch skateboarding. You'll see some of those things today with the surfing.
As you've heard from Sal yourself, it's going to be a brilliant day of surfing. So if you are in or around the Ballito area, make your way to KwaDukuza Beach and come and enjoy some surfing. Or else, if you can't make it, visit their Facebook page. You can catch all of the action there. It's been such an awesome time coming to you live from KwaDukuza Beach. But from now, it is back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks so much, Tulu. All the excitement of the Ballito Pro
I'm starting to feel about him like I'm feeling a little bit about you.
What are you
going
talking about?
To the islands.
Okay. No, I get you.
I am really happy
We're here
for
now.
you.
We're here. It's okay.
I promise, I'm really happy for you, bro. It's going to be awesome.
Listen, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we continue our conversation with Amanda Rush Ferreira here. We're talking about, it's baby talk, and we're focusing on mental health, but how it relates to mom, especially post-pregnancy, and we talk about the nutritional intake that is needed in the development of baby, in mom's breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding is something really
exactly,
interesting.
And so many different aspects, as well as on social media, we are reflecting on some of the life lessons that you would like to share with your kids. What would be an important life lesson that you'd like to give to your kids one day, Amanda?
In general?
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a list already written down, like categorized.
Really
I have no doubt.
I think just completely be happy with who you are.
Oh, wow, I like that.
Fantastic advice there. Well, we're going to take a quick break on that note, and we'll be right back, yeah?
Cadbury Dairy Milk shines a light on the generosity alive in each of us. Bring your old toys to any of the Cadbury Dairy Milk's pop-up little generosity shops in major centres this winter and receive a slab of Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate. Get to Durban's Gateway Mall Little Generosity Shop from the 25th of June until the 8th of July with your toys, and let's inspire a little more Cadbury Dairy Milk goodness in the world.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Thursday morning. It's a Thursday morning's baby talk session with Amanda Rush Ferreira, and she's a clinical dietitian. We're focusing on the nutritional needs of mom during pregnancy, postpartum, and how these could be linked to certain mental health issues that we see being more prevalent these days. And earlier on, we spoke about those key nutrients that do directly impact mom. So how could a mom then easily include nutrients in her diet in order to eventually include them into her baby's diet? And
are supplements enough?
Yeah, I guess that's the big question.
highly recommend that pregnant women do take a supplement, especially when that includes omega-3, but no, they're not enough.
Yeah.
You need to have a really good balanced diet. So what I mentioned previously was that omega-3 was so important in maternal depression. So with that, we're talking about fatty fish, walnuts, linseeds, nuts and seeds, avocados, things like that.
Yeah.
Nice, fatty, healthy foods. Fatty fish can get quite pricey if we're looking at things like salmon. So things like sardines we can get away with really nicely as well. And feed these to your baby. That's really, really good for them. There's also other nutrients that are implicated in maternal ill health. Folate is one of them, B12 is one of them, iron, selenium, zinc, vitamin D. All of these deficiencies can create sort of ill maternal health.
Precursors, yeah.
I'm not going to give you a list of what every one of those things can provide, but you can just basically focus on a whole lot of fruit and vegetables, lots of that fatty fish I spoke about, whole grains, but not refined carbs, whole grains like lentils and quinoa and things like that, lots of healthy oils, lots of healthy fats, seeds, nuts, avocados, avocado oil, olive oil, canola oil even, yeah.
Cool. I mean, we know this. We know these things, guys. We know these things. I think one of the most enjoyable parts as an observer, and I speak with absolute humility in this space, because you sit there witnessing what your partner goes through during pregnancy, this unbelievable transformation, very much a transformation in what they like to eat, what they want to eat. Is there a difference in the nutritional needs during pregnancy and breastfeeding as it exhibits in the way that often we see diets changing? Do you need, if you feel a craving for something, is that something that your body is telling you it needs? What is going on within the body? And I ask this, on behalf of many men out there, but more importantly, on behalf of many women out there. What are those different nutritional needs going through pregnancy and then through breastfeeding?
So obviously there's hugely different nutritional needs in a pregnant woman, a breastfeeding woman, and then a non-pregnant or breastfeeding woman. But the majority of the difference is actually in your micronutrients. That's your vitamins and your minerals.
Okay.
Your macronutrients, your fat, your protein, your carbs, your calories, they don't have a huge difference. In the first trimester, you actually should be eating almost the same as what you would be eating before falling pregnant. And in the second and third trimester, what you need is only an extra sort of between 100 and 400 calories a day, which is like a glass of milk and a handful of nuts. So the craving for these really high energy foods, these pizzas, these burgers, these chocolate, things like that, they're not really warranted on a nutritional level.
Where does it come from? How can your diet, your preference, is it something that's happening on a hormonal level?
It's happening on a hormonal level.
Is changing that your...
Yes, it's happening on a hormonal level. But in terms of macronutrients, you have vastly increased requirements. So you're going to need more of, and these are the specific ones, you need more vitamin A, vitamin B12, obviously you're going to need folate, you're going to need vitamin C, vitamin D, iron, selenium are all really, really important. Yeah.
Amanda, thank you very much for joining us and for your insights. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
During this baby talk.
Been
of
awesome.
course, you
Thank
can
you so
also
much.
follow at NutriPeds online for more information regarding this topic.
Well, it's that time of the morning for us to do what we love best and get into a yummy Oma rusk. And while we all love dipping and, cozying up with our mugs and our rusks, we're going to find out a little bit more about how pastry chef Grace Stevens enjoys her rusks, because there's a lot to tell about how someone enjoys their rusks,
Absolutely.
right?
Grace, the one thing we know on this show, and you've seen, is we all have our favorite dipping time, and we've all talked about when we like ours. You've definitely noticed that. But what is yours? What is your favorite dipping time?
Well, this is something that I've struggled. I love rusks.
Yeah.
When I saw these with chocolate chip, I was like, that is in my corner. It's amazing.
Is that your favorite flavour as well?
No, I do like a bran, a little bit of bran.
Okay. I thought you might be a muesli girl because of the texture.
Yes. And I like a little bit of raisin in my rusk,
I'm about that. Old school.
But these look amazing, and I think that these are perfect for when you're stuck at work. But you want to have a little bit of me time.
Talking about being stuck at work, when is your favorite time to enjoy a Oma rusk?
Well, I think it is. You know, it's at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon when you just need a little bit of a pick-me-up.
Exactly.
Nice cup of coffee and dunk your Oma. That's perfect time.
The reason why I'm asking is because Oma rusks have these amazing cups that simply also identify what time of the day you love to enjoy your rusks at. For instance, we've got this one, the after party rusk, because girl, you know,
you look like you're that girl.
after the party, you need a snack.
The munchies.
Yes. Tapiso knows all about that. Also, the stuck at work dip.
I think that's mine.
That's you.
That's you.
my one.
There's also the lunchtime dip.
The lunchtime dip as well. I've got the early morning dip because that's me. When you're waking up at like 3:45 in the morning, this is the first thing you go for is a rusk and your coffee, and you live your best life.
I've got the morning commute dip, so if you're like stuck in train delays at the train station, you whip out your cup and your flask and you go
I've
at
got the midnight snack dip. Do we have to choose one?
Well, aside from the midnight snack, and you've already said that you like to have yours at work, so you're sort of, you know, stuck at work one. Which other one would you say best represents the time that you like to have your rusks, your dips?
Midnight dips.
You know, when you just go one more episode.
Yes.
But if we have one more episode, then my husband says that we need something to drink and a snack. This is the perfect snack.
If you could give your dipping style a hashtag, and I know this is a tough one, I'm throwing you in the deep end, what would you call it?
I would call it...
What's yours?
What would your hashtag
yours
be?
Yours is the...
Mine changes
always
all
hungry
the time. That is one of them. There's one of many.
Dip.
Hongerki. The hongerki dip.
All right.
What would yours be?
I don't know. Like, you have put me on the spot.
I'm sorry.
You know?
Okay.
The graceful dip.
Ooh.
Yes.
Nice.
But like full with like double
Dipped
L's.
with
Graceful dip.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, let's practice the graceful dip, shall we?
Okay.
Let's see how graceful mine is.
I think you have to have your pinky out for the graceful dip.
And while you do that, Grace, you have to tell me how many rusks do you actually really honestly and truly have, with no judgment here?
Oh, you can't just have one.
No.
And then the second one goes down and you have barely noticed it.
You're not about that life.
So then the third one, that's when you start really feeling it.
Oh, my word.
But the thing is that if you're going to put these on the plate, why must I leave one lonely one on the plate too?
That is wrong on
that's
so many
terrible.
levels. So here's the thing, we would love to hear from you too. You can let us know on social media what your favorite dipping time is, and if you have any photos, please make sure to send those through to us, because you might just make it onto our dipping wall of fame.
That's right. Dip away.
It's so good.
Anytime is dipping time.
Tell me. I want one right now, dip. Is that a, can I hashtag that?
That could actually be.
I'm starving, and I'm just listening to people glorify the joy of eating and food. So I will be having
I'm more like a hashtag anytime dip. Anytime, anywhere
dip.
kind of dip. Just like
Right
poof,
now.
in my hand, there we go, I'm dipping.
Do it.
Simple
Do
as
it.
that.
Oh my! Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you really brought that for us to
you
dip.
see.
Wait, what did you just do?
What do you
You just like literally allowed your coffee to drip through your hand into my cup. Like,
That is the most-
why would you do that?
Hashtag selfish dip.
Why would you
selfish dip?
Get to a crazy store in your town this school holiday and discover a treasure trove of arts and crafts for the whole family to enjoy, as always, at great value. Paper, paints, modeling clay, sketchbooks, glitter, crayons, aprons, rubber stamps, ribbons, felt tip pens, learn to paint sets, and a whole universe of creative fun at crazy good value. Only at the Crazy Store. Holidaying near or far, there'll be one just about wherever you are.
Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining us. I have absolutely loved the show. It's had a little bit of everything. Let's throw some inspiration in there. Township economies, we know, are heaping with economic activity and vibrance with an array of small businesses like spaza shops, so we always focus on that, barbers, motor garages, and of course, the classic shizinyama.
Yeehaw. So we find out just how much of a vital role townships play in our economy and what the Grandpa's Spaza Academy is doing to improve this.
Grandpa's Fast Acting Pain Relief. It's ready to work in 10 seconds.
Grandpa, trusted for over 100 years.
It's often forgotten that urban areas are not the only contributors to the South African economy. Township economies add significantly to the overall economy, and their importance is often underestimated. Let's go find out how the Grandpa Spaza Academy is working towards improving this. Why would you say it's important to grow small businesses?
Township economies really are the backbone of our society because they have such a major impact on the overall South African economy. They also play a vital role in job creation in the more rural or non-urban areas where a great deal of our population lives.
What role can businesses play in developing the township economy, Tanya?
Businesses really need to help and assist these economies in finding ways to let them flourish and grow. One way they can assist is really developing them with skills development, getting involved, giving them the tools and the know-how and supporting them. That's really a fundamental way that businesses can get involved.
Is the Grandpa Spaza Academy one of many such initiatives sponsored by GSK?
Yes, it is. It's a great initiative that really looks at driving community forward. But it's one of many that we do. You know, at GSK, our mission is all about letting more people do more, feel better, and live longer. And we do this not just with our brands, but with upliftment projects that we have. Other projects that we do is, for example, the Aquafresh mobile dental clinics, where we literally have a dental clinic going into the communities and help people with their oral health care needs and, you know, give people the opportunity that maybe don't have access or the ability to go see a dentist. So yes, it's just one of the programs. It's really a great program.
South African townships contribute billions towards our economy, which is why developing and upskilling in this sector is so important. Phil, why would you say that it's important to grow township businesses?
Township businesses are what drives township communities. Many township communities don't have access to bigger businesses, and so having strong businesses where people live is really important. But also with the unemployment rate in our country and the push towards entrepreneurship, there's a greater need, especially in township areas, for people to start their own businesses. And there's no better way to do that than to develop township businesses.
What initiatives would you like to see in the township?
For me, Grandpa Spaza Shop Academy is actually one of the best initiatives that could go into township areas. It's a program that really gives people a very holistic sense of what it's like to run a business and equips people with skills needed to do so successfully. In addition to that, if you look at the kind of entrepreneurs we have in the academy, you find that their needs are actually very little. People are not looking for massive cash injections. And so what the kind of initiatives that we need to see is actually going into ground, talking to people and finding out what are their immediate business needs and finding ways to meet those needs.
The more small businesses are created, the more jobs are created for us and for our community. How can other organizations out there get involved?
Some of the ways organizations can plug into the program is through actually helping us with recruitment. With many of the communities that we're going into, we're actually going in there for the first time. And so if there are community-based organizations that can actually help us source spaza shops that can be part of the program, then that would be the easiest way to get involved.
What are the benefits to the community as a whole?
One of the things that we stress very heavily throughout our content in the academy is actually the fact that businesses need to exist to solve problems. And we take our participants through a long process of actually unpacking their community challenges and finding ways that their businesses can address these challenges. And so it makes sense that actually the better spaza shop owners do in this program, the more effective they would be in solving their community challenges.
With township economies playing such an integral part of our overall economy, it's important to pay special attention to growing and developing these sectors to truly become the backbone of our economy.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Township economies, they play such an important role creating employment in those small spaces, building communities, and really just so important. And if you have one, a spaza shop that is, and you're interested in finding out more about the Grandpa Spaza Academy and how you can get involved, then contact. The number is
076 666 3173. And of course, you too can transform your business. That is 0766 66 3173.
Grandpa's Fast Acting Pain Relief. It's ready to work in 10 seconds.
Grandpa, trusted for over 100 years.
And we're back again in the kitchen, and today we're taking our taste buds on a road trip all the way to Brazil and making something called brigadeiros. Now, these are Brazilian treats that are a big part of Brazilian culture and are considered an actual national icon. And it's made with condensed milk, with cocoa powder and butter. And the queen of all things sweet is here to show us how to make them. Gracie, great to have you in the studio.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You were telling me quite an interesting story about these brigadeiros and how they actually became a national icon in Brazil.
Yeah, well, as the story goes, in the 1940s, there was a guy who was running for president.
Yeah.
And his wife lovingly made these sweets every time he had a rally to talk to the people to get himself elected. And she used to make them, and people used to come and ask for them and ask for those brigadeiros.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently because of the lack of things like fresh milk.
Because it was
and
wartime.
Post-wartime,
Yes,
so scarcity in a lot of resources and things, that these were quite a welcome treat among the people. And so they are celebrated. But let's get to making them and see how they're actually
They're
done.
very, very straightforward. You're going to need a can of condensed milk on a medium heat. That's quite important. You don't want to boil this too quickly.
Yes.
And you know the rule with condensed milk, you always have to leave enough to scrape afterwards.
Yes.
Okay.
Whoever it is that's your cooking assistant has to be able to
Is that
enjoy
enough for you?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Actually, thank you very much. I'll start in.
And then some butter. Butter goes in there too.
Oh, that's
Okay.
beautiful.
And then cocoa powder. So if you're afraid that your cocoa powder isn't going to mix nicely into your condensed milk, sometimes it gets a little bit lumpy, mix it with a little bit of water first.
Okay, cocoa powder. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, there's butter in there already.
There's butter already.
So what if you
in
added
here.
chocolate instead of cocoa powder? Would that work if you were to melt
make it with chocolate as well.
Okay, so you could use that as a substitute.
You could use chocolate, just melted chocolate first.
Yes.
And then you cook this until it's nice and thick. So this does take a while.
Yes.
They say that it's a sweet that you make with friends because you have to have a mate come over and help you stir.
Yes, excellent stuff. I like
So
the
you
music selection that we've got going on here. It's like a modernized version of Besame Mucho. You know, Besame.
Puts us in the mood. Hey?
All right, so you're going to let that cook along.
This cooks along. You have to be able to pick up a whole lot, turn it over your spoon, and it takes a while to drop off your spoon. So as you can imagine, it does take a while just to cook this all the way down.
Excellent. All right.
Isn't that delicious?
So you're going to let that cook down, and
then-
there you would then have
And then you take it out the pot and you let it cool for about 3 hours. So pop it in the fridge, let it cool, and it's sort of like making truffles. Okay. Here's a tip. Take a little bit of butter before you're going to roll them and spread it over your hands, and then you just take little teaspoonfuls. You don't want too, these are very rich, so you don't want too big a piece. Okay. And then you're going to roll it into a ball. Are you dying to do this? I can see.
I kind of, no, sorry, I'll be honest with you. I was wondering more about the buttery smell that's going to be on your hand throughout the day and how delicious that's going to be. Like, you're going to be shaking people's hands and be like, oh, hi guys, eat your hand.
Look at this.
Delicious. That looks amazing.
And then you just roll it in this chocolate vermicelli. Ooh. And
Okay, while you do that, you at home can SMS the keyword Clover to 33728 and we'll send you a link to the recipe so you can make your own brigadeiros. By the way, those that were made back in those days in that 40s, 50s presidential election run, did they actually end up securing the presidential seat?
Unfortunately not.
No?
No, they weren't. They weren't that sort of dessert.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's only so much a wife can do for his husband. He's got to carry it the rest of the way.
So apparently the candidate wasn't a very good speaker then. The brigadeiros brought the people and he just couldn't convince them. Close the deal, Pablo. Close the deal. All right, so you're going to be rolling them up and you decorate them
And then
like
we
that.
just
And you can go with
decorate them with some chocolate. I've got dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and then some white chocolate. And it's really like whatever you want to do to decorate them. They are so delicious. They need to be set up a little bit afterwards, again in the fridge.
in the fridge.
And then they're ready to be served.
Excellent, and you
Do
can
I
like
taste
have them
one?
with a nice ice cold glass of clover fresh.
Oh, you have to
full
have it
cream
with milk.
Yes.
Definitely. And
All
the
right.
clover milk is the best milk. Stays extra fresh in your fridge because it's got a nice seal on it.
Fantastic stuff. Let's quickly show you how we made this, shall we? Take a look.
In the mood for a sweet treat? Then take your taste buds on a trip to Brazil and make these clover fresh milk brigadeiros. Melt 1 tablespoon of clover butter in a pan. Then add 100 grams of cocoa powder and fold together. Next, add 2 tins of clover condensed milk. Mix to combine and simmer gently until thickened. Spoon onto a greased surface and allow to cool completely. Tear off small portions and roll them into balls in your palms. Coat a few in chocolate vermicelli and others in chopped nuts. Place in cupcake cups and drizzle over melted white chocolate and melted milk chocolate. Sweet, fudgy, chewy and delicious, these brigadeiros are best enjoyed with a glass of ice-cold clover full cream fresh milk.
Made with love by Clover.
And that's the keyword that you SMS, Clover, to 33728, and we'll send you a link to the recipe so you can make your own beautiful brigadeiros at home. And there are other variations that you could make
You
as
could
well?
just go to town. You can put dried fruit in them. You can put nuts in them.
Oh, yes.
You can roll them in nuts. It's basically whatever taste that you want to carry through, you can do so.
Excellent stuff. Gracie, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. SMS Clover to 33728 and make your own delicious brigadeiros at home.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
Brigadeiros! I think it's not brigadeiros.
I don't think it's Italian, guys.
It's Portuguese, because it's a Brazil.
Bring it.
Wow, are they all the same? They look beautiful. Are they all the same kind of vibe?
All lovingly made.
Wow, I'm gonna have this one. This looks awesome. Thank you so much.
You got to bite into it.
You got to bite into it, okay?
Just get in
Mine is like a top deck brigadeiro.
Mine's a white chocolate.
You like the top dick?
I love a top deck meat.
We know that.
It's got like a cookie dough vibe about it,
Right? It's beautiful stuff. Yeah. Try it out at home. It'll be a crowd pleaser just like this. Look at this.
man.
All of a sudden, just popularity.
Just get worried at home if the person who made it isn't having any, because then it might be poisoned. But I'm sure he wouldn't do that.
Would I?
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
Boy.
Bon boy!
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards reimagined.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's time for a little bit of feel good. So good.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show on a Thursday morning. Thanks for starting the day with us. So good to be in your company, and we like sharing things that are so good, man. Things that make you feel so good.
It's going to be like,
yeah.
Your heart.
Yeah, this story about loved ones reaching up from the other side.
So we've got a very, very, like heart-wrenching and also very moving story about a young man named Cole. Now, Cole Shinsky's mother always believed that she would return to the world as a yellow butterfly after she died. Now, because of his mom's attachment to the lovely little pollinators, the college baseball pitcher has always been entranced by yellow butterflies. But he says that he's never been able to get very close to one.
And that was until this year, on Mother's Day, no less, where Cole posted a picture with him in a yellow butterfly, and a yellow butterfly on his shoulder, with this caption. Now, it read, "This is incredible. Mother passed away 9 years ago, and she mentioned she'd be a yellow butterfly one day. And for 9 years, I have been reminded every time I see one that I have never been close enough to touch one. Today, this happened. Happy Mother's Day, Mama." Wow.
Beautiful, man.
Wow. Now, yeah, it's a beautiful encounter, absolutely beautiful. And it came at the perfect time as Cole was going through a really hard time. And this really just proves that our loved ones might be out of sight, but they really are never far away from us.
Exactly.
In fact, we then went forth and checked or Googled and searched for some interesting facts
symbolism
about
in that.
and it appears that Native American tribes, to them, the yellow butterfly brings guidance and is a sign of hope.
Wow.
So that's actually pretty
very
cool.
deep, yeah.
And in Irish law, they say that yellow butterflies are indicators of departed souls who are resting peacefully in the afterlife.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, but hopefully Cole did the same research and was able to kind of take that on board.
so beautiful.
Stuff. I mean, this. I was joking now with one of our content creators. I'm like, I love this uplifting stuff, but it makes me so sad. But it's so awesome to go into this emotional space. Hopefully that's kind of inspired you a little bit, got you thinking about someone incredibly special to you. So let's lighten the mood just a little bit. This has got to be one of the best Thursdays ever that we have ever had. No, we're going to throw it back to one of the coolest performances. We're going to throw it back to one of the coolest showdowns ever, okay? Youngster CPT, y'all know who he is. Some of you might not know who Dirty K is.
Dirty K?
Dirty K's in the house, okay? Otherwise known as Kid Level. And they had a bit of a freestyle battle. This is how it went down.
Okay, so here's mine. I have family.
Okay,
and then the next one is Unbreakable.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
nice.
damn.
Nice.
Okay, I'm just getting into the vibe. The other one that I got here is Expresso.
Okay.
Okay. Delivery. Okay. Here we go with the king. Yo, Dirty K. I'm the king of the Expresso family. Delivery every day, cause it's so good to this way. So when I get down with the crew, we sipping on the Where we at? Family, all of it. We unbreakable. Yeah, like the spirit inside. When it comes out, it's alive. Every Monday to the Friday. Yay. Where all the people say, so good, so good. Top 30K on the hood. What do you got, sir? What do you got?
How am I expected to beat that? Okay.
Camera one is yours. So you got
Camera one is yours. Top.
Oh, yeah, I'm putting it on the table.
and actually read the
And I got Cape Town.
Cape Town.
I think it was made for me, maybe. Who gave these words? Music.
Okay, all right.
These are chosen at random, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goodness gracious. Come back.
Oh my gosh.
And
last one, stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Go.
Young CPT freestyle hip hop. As you can see, I'ma make it to the top. Yes, indeed, I come from the underground. Y'all know that I live Cape Town. 27 is my age, and I freestyle with such rage. I just broke out of an elephant's cage, and I killed the entire stage. Yes, indeed, baby bro. You don't know how I do. The name is CPT. I come with a unit, and I make freestyle hip hop music. Now you know how it goes. Put my city on the map. It's Young CPT with freestyle rap, and I do it like this and like that. Trust me, you don't have a comeback.
That's when we say R.I.P. Dirty K. Just on his first gig.
No, but
he was out.
but all the great hip hop stars have a comeback, yo. All the great hip hop stars have a comeback.
Yeah, you gotta have a story of tragedy.
You gotta have a past to have a future, man.
No, I wouldn't put myself through that. That would be silly to try and do that.
So well.
After witnessing that, man.
That was awesome.
So many bars, man.
Does it make you a little bit nervous even seeing yourself come through?
In that one point, when I said went some from Monday to the Fry, and then I dropped the day, I was like, that happened?
So I watched that and I just think to myself, like, especially when you went that Fry, I was like, no, this man's got mad skills. Like Fifi Cooper is here.
Yeah.
Shaking, mailing, because you're coming for the throne, man. You got bars. You got bars. That was smooth for me.
That was cool. Shout out to youngster CPT, always doing the thing so big.
Gent, eh?
Hold your own.
How about this? Because listen.
Boy, I would beat you.
Listen, I'm not doing it.
But Nadia Nakai dropped a new album like last week Friday, right? Naked, the new album, and she's killing it out right now. People are going crazy over this album. So Nadia Nakai should come on to the show, and it should be like a Nadia versus Leanne rap battle, bars dropping, kind of thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The challenge has been set, Nadia Nakai. It's out there.
What's the hand signal for challenging someone in hip hop?
I'm sure it's not there. I'm sure it's not there.
Somebody hand me a glove.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, bite your thumb at me.
The more appropriate one would probably be to paint the person's face, just like battle on, and then they know it's on.
I can't believe you just did that.
But what's even worse is that hand was very sweaty. Wow.
So probably had a little bit of coffee on it.
Can we for a moment just quickly discuss Tabiso's like unwitting moments of like disgust, painting Batu with sweaty hands and dripping his coffee into other. Ooh, Lord save us. We gotta go, guys. Have yourself a wonderful Thursday. Make someone smile. I love you. What's wrong with you, Tabsi? What's wrong?
Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.